So, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Saturday evening. I hope everyone is doing well as always. Always welcome back in. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Make sure you're new. Hit subscribe. And we'll get into it. We'll see what happens. See who calls in. We've already got Rob. Rob, it's great to see you, man. Hope you're well. Very quiet tonight by the looks of it. Nobody else in the chat. Very unusual. Everyone's probably out enjoying themselves on Saturday evening, but hopefully it'll fill up a little bit. Get to it and discuss the news together. Never slow news day for us. Not if we can help it. Not if we can help it. But sometimes it would be lovely to do the whole disappear for 2 weeks thing and come back and everything's done. But nice one, Rob. Yeah, it's just us two, man. It's like it used to be back in the old days, man. Let's get Steve back in. All we need now is Steve back in. So there's been a lot of. Sometimes I feel reluctant. We should cover a little bit more of the non-Liverpool transfer stuff because there are some interesting deals going around. Yeah, Ollie's there. Sam is there. Good to see it. You had no change yet. No change yet. We've got the usual. The Barcola things. You got the president talking. Now you got the owner, or you got the manager saying, as we say there, when players don't have a smile here, it's better to find another solution. Which is kind of fairly obvious where that thing is going to go. They've now, I believe, they officially signed Mika Götze today. Romano seems to believe that it would be much more likely there'll be nothing today and nothing tomorrow, but maybe at the start of the week. But as I said, you've got all the pieces in place now. I don't know about this Mbaye thing, by the way. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. I wouldn't be thinking that one is a done dealio, as they say. But yeah, like I say, just listen to something from Romano earlier on. He was saying he doesn't expect anything today or tomorrow. But whatever it is, maybe they're all. I would assume that's because Paris people are just kind of busy finalizing this Mika Götze deal, getting all that kind of wrapped up, and then get around the table, I suppose. But we'll have to wait and see. But we got Sonny here. Listen, Sonny, how are you?
Hello, we Brian. You all right, mate?
Yeah. Sure. So I won't mention it.
All the PSG stuff are starting to get finalised now, isn't it? Obviously, they got Ferran Torres. That was all here we go today, and the same with Nika Götze now. So hopefully, fingers crossed now, you know what I mean? That's like, if we can get both of our wingers in off them, Barcola and Mbaye now, because they've got all their adequate replacements in now. So just like, I'm just hoping and praying that like in the next couple of days, week or so. Not long left though, the transfer window, is it? When you look at it, like there's only a couple of weeks left. We haven't really done much.
Yeah, that's Brentford beat Frankfurt 7-0 in a friendly today. Jesus.
Yeah, do you see what Amarin did to United as well? AC Milan. That's quite funny, that, isn't it? Obviously, they got rid of Amarin, replaced him with Carrick, and I know it's only a pre-season, but I heard a lot of United fans saying, "Oh, they can't wait to go against them and destroy him in the game," and it was quite the opposite way around, wasn't it?
Well, his pasta will taste a little bit nicer tonight, no doubt.
Oh, definitely.
Going up, I ain't friendly or not, but you're going up against a club that sacked you. It's always nice. Yeah, as you were saying, we've got almost a confirmation on this. Mika Götze has home according to just signed this deal. Medical done, all that kind of stuff done. So it brings us back to the domino. all he's saying, United were really bad today. A lot of individual mistakes. Fair play to you for watching it. But yeah, this is kind of the most. This is very end game stuff when you got the manager coming out saying this kind of stuff. It's just a matter of time, really. There's an inevitability about it. He would have been robbed. Can you imagine that? Like, friendly or no friendly? 100%.
Bit of a weird pre-season friendly that got booked, that isn't it? Like the fact that like Amarin's club, and it's just a bit of a weird one, though.
It was their first pre-season win. Oof. United are back, baby. United are back. So what else we would be touching on tonight? We've got Carragher's quotes on the midfield. Again, you just got a lot of Romano stuff saying, basically, it's just kind of not hold your horses, but just be patient, and Barcola is going to get done. But we could do with a new name being thrown in the mix here as well. Did you get much of a chance to take a look at that guy, Hector Fort, the right back that's available from Barcelona? Maybe looks like he could be an excellent signing for us. Did you have a chance to look at him?
Yeah, he looks like an alright player, doesn't he? But I don't know what it is at the moment. It's just like, for ages now, it's like we told ourselves, the World Cup's happening, we'll wait till the World Cup's ended and transfers will happen. And the same, like, obviously when we found out that like they were going to sell like 30% stake as well, you know what I mean? We were kind of waiting for that to get finalised. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a bit weird, this window, isn't it? I feel like we've wasted the whole window. We've literally spent, all we've spoke about this whole window is pretty much Barcola, other than that. And it doesn't really feel like we're doing much. It is starting to get worrying now. Like closer, obviously, gets to the start of the season. You start to look at the team now and how thin the squad is, and it's starting to get a bit worrying now, I think.
They were Milan's first pre-season. Yeah. If there was a window for nearly done deals, I still don't expect too much. But I also wouldn't be surprised. I don't really know what way this is going to go. We wasted an awful lot of time on Yan Diomande. We clearly got led up the garden path on that one. I watched a very interesting documentary about him today. But, I mean, the fact that at one point there's 5 different agencies or people trying to claim, this guy getting shipped off around the world. Just a lot of insane stuff going on. So I'm not surprised something went wrong with that deal when you look at what's been going on behind the scenes with him. And I know people talking about Rock Nation and all that, but he's represented by about 4 or 5 different people that claimed part ownership or all this kind of stuff, which is just all mad stuff going on behind the scenes. So I don't think he certainly didn't really have much say in where he went, but it looks, and not that it's a difficult thing to do to have to go to Real Madrid, but I guarantee he wants to play for Enrique. That guy absolutely would have wanted to play for that coach. He's turning wingers into, top players now. So that's the guy. You go and get coached by Enrique for a couple of years and then you go and do the Barcelona Real Madrid thing. Not really the other way around. So he'll maybe be hoping that Enrique can come to Madrid and replace him. Enrique's played for Madrid before, so I'm sure he can manage him. Well, John is in as well. How are you, John? For our mate last night that was complaining about Joe Linton eating trainee only alive, well, Joe Linton will miss the Liverpool game, so he need worry no more about that.
Oh, is he out? Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the whole.
That'll be massive for us as well. That's the last. He's the last remaining midfielder that they have of any worry really that he can think of.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember who it was. It was here last night, but someone was saying he's going to get. You can't play him. He'll get eaten alive by Joe Linton, which I thought was kind of a bit of a stretch already. But
No, he's good. You know what? Like he's good in the air. He's powerful, Joe. And the problem with him, though, he's got no legs. He can't get around the field. And he used to rely a lot on obviously Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes to do that for him, get around the field and that. And they were the two ones that like used to dominate us the majority of the time. It wasn't really Joe and that used to worry me in them games, really.
yeah, he's a little battler. Yeah, we were looking at their squad last night, and there's like one guy that I'd never heard of. Basically,
Yeah, they've been decimated, haven't they, Brian? I know we looked at it yesterday. I was having a little look as well, and it's like I don't know. Majority of that team now, it's like a pretty much new team. A lot of the obviously, the standout players that are still there, like Lewis Hall and Livramento and people like that. But yeah, their team, it's going to be completely different. I think that's one thing we might actually get lucky with. Like obviously, if they were still full strength, going away to Newcastle with Eddie Howe, that would have been a really tough ask. But we might get lucky. To be fair, there, the fact that they've changed their coach as well, and it seems like they're going to be more like our team's like in a better shape than theirs is, and that's saying something, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, new coach, no obvious replacement for Tonali, no obvious replacement for Gordon other than Toure, no obvious replacement for Bruno, no obvious replacement for Isak. Really, last year Walter Mata hasn't worked out that way. He's a different type of player.
And Livramento's meant to be out for the first couple of months of the season as well. He's meant to not. I don't think he'll be starting that first game anyway.
Yeah. Ollie is asking left wing, right wing, Isak. Oh, left wing, right wing, Isak back up, CDM. Who do you think? Oh, Barcola. Barcola is most likely. Barcola. So if that's left wing, then yeah, Barcola left wing, and that's the most likely. The almost most guaranteed one. Yeah.
That's what I'm hanging my hat on. Really, the fact that next couple of days or week we got this big deal across the line, a double deal for the wingers, and then all of a sudden maybe we do swoop in for like a CDM or a centre. I think it all depends on who goes out now. Like if a Gakpo goes out, they'll probably get another one in that position. If obviously
it's very exit dependent, isn't it? It seems like if he goes, this happens. If he goes, this happens. But if he stays, nothing happens. It's kind of I don't like that. But do you think they get anyone other than position filled?
I think we're going to get a midfielder, mate. I know we haven't had many links to them. I think they've probably scouted who they're going to get, and they probably know like a couple of names that they're probably going to go for. But obviously, a lot of them are off the market now because some of them are picked up. But I think they're just waiting on Jones or Maka or one of them to get sold just to free up that position, really.
Yeah, I think they might be trying to create a bit of a narrative around why McAllister can be sold, if that's something that happens. John is saying, hello, John, how are you? Do you think we invest more money in our academy with the takeover and target the very best youth around the world? We're kind of doing that already.
Yeah, we're very good at doing that, yeah.
We also recently spent another 20 million. They did a 20 million upgrade on the academy, I think, during the summer. Well, it was finished during the summer, so that's been looked after really well. And I think maybe you don't want to go too far down the Chelsea route, but when you look at the centre halves that we brought in this year, I think we're doing a similar job to that. But we can always. But I mean, from a sporting point of view, that's the thing with this new ownership. I don't really see a huge upturn in we're run by a bunch of guys who don't get sports and don't get football. We are, so I don't expect like a lot of we'll get much better at scouting. Someone was saying that last night. We have some of the best data and analytics and scouting in the world. Just because we don't buy those players, all those players doesn't mean we don't have that. It's like, you know, Teo, how are you? I think that stuff is we're at an elite level at Liverpool doing that, the scouting and data and all of that. So
No,
I don't.
I don't think we're going to see the fruits of this takeover for a couple of years now. I think it's great. Don't be wrong. It's fantastic news. I was over the moon when I seen it go through because it just means we've got a bit of clarity. You know what I mean? We know what's happening now with the future. Like these guys are coming in, they've got the 30%, and it looks like they'll probably buy it in a couple of years' time. And it's like it's just nice to know where we are and where we're at. You know what I mean? That's what I've took from most of the Liverpool fans I've spoken to since they've seen it go through.
Yeah, like you know me. I was on here what 5-6 weeks. It was 5-6 weeks ago saying maybe 2 months ago. I don't know, saying like, what's the future for FSG? Because you can tell this is coming to a point.
We could all tell something was up, couldn't we? Definitely.
We've
sniffed it out for about a year now.
Yeah, if nothing else, like you say, this is clarity on what's good. Because, you know, but again, I would say temper expectations while FSG and them are just sort of partnerships kind of thing. I mean, I wouldn't expect a huge amount of change with that. Like I say, if there's a complete takeover, full takeover, like I say, it's not like, oh, there's £1 billion in the transfer budget. You can't do that. But then you might see. But I just think any change might be slow and incremental at the start, and then kind of all of a sudden. But like they say, it's FSG are still in control. Not like that's a bad thing. I know people they all want the shiny new owner with the $1 billion checkbook, but it's I would say 18 months time is when you might see new ownership, new faces. But again, what will really change for us? I don't think it guarantees that we all of a sudden start buying the best in the world. Maybe it does. Maybe it does.
I think what you said is on the money, to be honest. But I think these guys, regardless of how much money they've got, they're not going to be able to do much more than what FFG were doing, if you know what I mean. Even though they have got the dwarf when it comes to wealth, obviously the consortium compared to what FFG have got, but just simple things. I think they will be able to help us out because they've owned some of the biggest companies in the world, and they might be able to help us with push us along the line, business deals and sponsorships, and maybe even though we're doing so well in that, maybe turn it up just a little bit more. So, try and chase down Real Madrid, because Real Madrid are number one. I think they generate 1.5 billion a season. We're 800 million, maybe try and chase Real Madrid down, you know what I mean? Try and get that second spot. And
we're about 850. You're right. We're about 850-ish. Just gonna say that I think the Bayern still are up there. Barca, Man City somehow make more than us. Real, I think we're usually around 4th or 5th. So yeah, we are about it's not like the top teams are making $1 billion and we make 4. We're not
very close.
Yeah, it doesn't take. I mean, it takes a bit of success as well. We're not strong enough to be able, and we're not quite as strong as United were with winning 12 Premier League titles in, that to be able to drop off the way they did and still make mega bucks. We still have to be relatively successful at the moment, at least, so we do, obviously that success, commercial success, comes from success on the pitch, which means
they're all tied together, aren't they? Buying a player, that player going on to score goals and winning trophies, and then obviously them trophies. Then obviously it's all tied together, isn't it? Everything.
Well, it's wages, really. I mean, the wages is the kind of the diluted. It's the the 50%. It's what it is. It's what it really comes down to, is that you need to spend the money. And if you look at the Premier League. Just say the Premier League. Just start with the Premier League, or even just start in the year 2000. You look at the wage bill, and you look at the title-winning club. You're looking at at least 90% of the time that the team that wins the league is the team with the highest wage bill. Now, obviously,
Yeah,
that doesn't mean you pay the highest wages, you win the league. It just means that to win the league, you have to be out there paying the very best players. I know it sounds obvious, but it's, yeah, the correlation is almost spot on. If you're the highest wage paying team, then you will probably be the league's winning team because that's what it takes now. You have to be able to pay the Yaya Toures and the Kevin De Bruyne's 300 grand a week when very few people are getting 300 grand a week. You have to be able to do that. You know, you can't sit there and you can't do it just by being clever. Not in the Premier League. The Premier League doesn't allow, like, clever is Brighton and Brentford and Bournemouth. And they
yeah,
still have to go out now and spend money. You have to be clever, but you also have to be able to spend money. Big wages is such a big thing.
yeah.
Wages is such.
Brighton and Brentford and Palace, they've kind of copied that. Well, they do the money balls same thing, don't they? Similar to what FFG do, like, and it's worked wonders for them. To be fair, but to be fair, like when you look at like what Villa have done and what Palace have done recently, winning trophies, like that'll give a little glimmer of hope to these, these clubs now. Like a Brighton, because Brighton haven't won anything, but I feel like it gives a little bit of glimmer of hope, to the teams below that now that. If we buck our ideas up like Iriola did with Bournemouth, we could get ourselves into Europe here.
Yeah, Marcus here, Teo is here, Mark Dicko. Yeah, they're acting like we won the lottery, some of these people. That's, they do need to realize, like, it's, there are some people out there that think Jeff Bezos is going to come in and spend $2 billion on transfers. Genuinely are people like that out there. They're going to get away from it.
If it was 15, 20 years ago, it would have been
unbelievable. Oh, we're in business.
Yeah,
we're in business then. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Get Mbappe, Bellingham, Elise, start. That's what they'd be trying to do. Look at who beat Newcastle now.
We've never even.
Just use Newcastle as your example. Look at what happened to them, and they have more money than God.
Yeah, they've got like an estimated wealth of like close to our consortium, like $500 billion, yeah, like 500 billion upwards, and that's just what's registered, like registered funds.
Yeah, it's pretty much unlimited money, basically.
That's what you're dealing with now, though, aren't you? I feel like that. The only even though, like, don't get me wrong, I love that Liverpool were able to do that without having a rich owner. And like, I just like the thought now of like, if we do have one, it's nice to know that if we ever got like pushed into a corner when we're trying to get a player, wages, but like maybe paying a certain fee, maybe like this could help us, maybe. Just in the future, maybe when it comes to maybe getting another Isaac, getting another way, it's like little things like this. It might help us rather than with FFG. We only get one of these signings every now and again. With these guys, it might be more of a consistent thing, like each season.
Maybe it might be more of a cash ease kind of thing where we might not have to, like, we might have to sell the player. Obviously, you need to balance stuff, but we might be able to go out and get a player and then sell the player as opposed to maybe waiting to sell the player. Maybe just little things like that. Definitely.
Because it'd be nice, though, even though we don't need it. Like it would be nice to know, like because look at what Liverpool fans have had to deal with over the years against City and outspenders and stuff. Now it feels like it like equals the playing field a little bit. I know we don't want to go down that route. I'd never ever want to do what Chelsea or City have done, like cheating and stuff like. But it's kind of nice to know that now that they can't bully us around as much. You know what I mean? We've got owners just as rich as yours now.
Yeah, you never want to sell your integrity, because you can always point to that. Like, you should always be able to be confident and say that's worth more than a lot of things. The integrity of the club. People say, "Oh, today's day and age, you can't this and that." Well, look, this is what these guys want you to believe. You can't hold some of these things together, And there'll be a lot of people trying to do that, but this world is galloping away, at a rapid pace. Yeah, of course, Ollie. They don't. That's the thing with FSG. They don't take any money out. They don't put any money in out of their own pockets because they always said you didn't really need to. So yeah, but they've never taken a penny out of the club. They don't do that. They pay themselves their wages, but everything we earn goes back into the club. Which is why
I'm not.
when like if we sell a player for 100 million, we know we basically got 100 million to spend. Whereas you'd get those clubs back in the day, where a manager would sell a player for like 40 million quid, and the next day the board would say, "Oh well, you've only got 10 million of that to spend." Like if we sell a player for 100 million, 100 million goes straight back into the transfer budget.
And
None of
do you
it
know
is
one thing about this deal as well, Brian, that has given me a bit of comfort now, because if you remember a couple of years ago, United, like, and Liverpool, we were going through this exact same thing.
Yeah, it was a bit rough. No, they've moved this massively forward. They've done a lot. I think history will look back. I know a lot of people really hate these guys. I understand people, not agreeing with himself and all that, but like, some of the hate is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Some of the hate. Again, if you don't like him and all that, but I just find it like I would expect to enter conversations with people that think they should leave or they're not the best owners and all that. But sometimes these people, they're like, geez, you'd worry for John Henry's safety if he was with some of these people. But yeah, Ray, I know Sonny, I think Sonny had answered the door there.
Hey Brian, how are you, man?
Yeah, Ray, good. I cannot find the thing I was going to show, as always it happens. Oh, McConnell's off, apparently.
He's indeed, yeah. He's gone out on loan, yeah. And Chambers as well.
Preston. Looks like Kieran Morrison is also going out on loan. Like I said, for our friend last night that was worried about Joe Linton eating up training, only Joe Linton will miss the Newcastle game, so that's said and done.
That's another positive.
I mean, I don't know what they're going to look like.
I think Newcastle are on the slide.
Sunday. It's only next Sunday, right? It's a week away. It's only a week away.
That's all, yeah. And my suspicion is, my strong suspicion as always is, we'll have Barcola, and then by next week, I believe we'll get them, But look, if I'm wrong, but I believe we're going to get them because, as we know, Brian, as well as me and others, that PSG have now got all their targets, attackers, so happy days.
Oh yeah, sure. Look, you've got. I mean, this is it. I mean, if you want any, this is it. Like, this is end game.
It is, yeah. Exactly. End game, exactly. Yeah.
The managers don't say that kind of stuff unless he knows he's not alienating the player. If you know what I mean, he knows he's not going to offend the player by saying that the players are going to say, "What, you want me out?" He's like, "This." Absolutely. No, look, he wants to leave. And this is a kind of a nice. He's put it. It's a nice way of putting it.
It is.
He's not saying we want to sell him. It's not saying anything really definitive. He will be sold, but it's telling you what you need to know, without saying we're selling him to Liverpool. It's just saying, look, when people aren't happy,
yeah, it's very
thing to do with that. Yeah, no, and I've always said that, man. At any club, at our club, if you have a player that doesn't want to be at your club, you immediately ring a taxi. As soon as he can go, it doesn't matter. Like if it's something that you can think is wrong or whatever. No, you've tried to fix the thing that's wrong. No, if you have a player that wants to leave your club, then you let them go as soon as possible. It doesn't matter.
I think so. Yeah. Because once their head is turned, once their head is turned, and there's no really going back. So yeah, you're right.
If a player's sitting there, I want to go, and they won't let me go. Talking to all the other players in the dressing room, saying I'm really pissed off, and like they can't concentrate on training because Barcola is their best mate, and he's really pissed off because the club won't let him go. Michael Owen is really angry because we won't let him go. Blah blah blah. If you want to go, mate, okay, get your agents. Basically, get your agents to get the club that you want to go to call us and make us a bid. Like you want to go, fine, we'll let you leave, but it's not our job to find a new club. It's your job to find yourself a new club.
Exactly, yeah. I don't think people realize how disruptive that is for a dressing room to have a player who wants away, and it totally disrupts the flow of the dressing room, the mood. It can affect the form of other players too, and just very disruptive.
Especially if he's a popular player, like, and he's well integrated.
Yeah, exactly. If he was a prick in the dressing room, the players wouldn't really care too much. They'll know he's unhappy. He's going to go. They'll do their own thing and be professional and play football. But when it's someone they like, as in a friend, well, it's kind of, it plays in their minds more so,
Yeah, I mean, and for some like he's a very coachy coach, if that's I know that doesn't make sense, but he's an ex-player who operated at the highest level
Mm.
for two of the biggest clubs in the world. Like
Yeah,
he
he's
was
very
an
hands-on.
attacking,
Yeah.
yeah, he was an attacking midfielder. He
Yeah.
played for Real Madrid. He played for Barcelona. He
Yeah.
knows what players. He knows how they think, and he knows if I've got a player that doesn't want to be here, I don't even want them at training
Exactly.
because he knows those players are not poison in a bad way, but he knows it. Yeah, it's just bad for the camp. You've got a guy that's sitting there with one leg out the door.
Yeah.
You can't play him in games, but you bring him along. He's there with his medals.
Yeah. Sure. Look at Isak last season. What happened? Before we signed him, the toxicity that built up in Newcastle was just vile. Violence towards Isak. I'm sure and probably maybe arguably unwarranted. But it turned very toxic in Newcastle over Isak. And but that's the potential of what could happen. If you keep a player that's unhappy. Once out.
Yeah, in the red for several. Oh yeah. Scanlon signed a new contract and he's going out. Yeah, not Chambers. It's Scanlon that's going out. No, I don't think Chambers going out unless that's changed.
Scanlon. Yeah.
Scanlon. Kieran Morrison, and also maybe one or two others before it ends. Maybe one or two others. McConnell, Morrison, Scanlon. Yeah, but it could be maybe one or two others. But Carragher has been talking. Cara, the big JC on VR. I'm assuming that's just that thing with Gary Neville and all them. He's saying the midfield issue for me is still a huge problem for Liverpool. The problem Liverpool had last season was there was space everywhere. That has not gone away. That's only going to get bigger with the deployment supposedly in midfield. It looks like they're going to play him central. Yes, and that's just a pure box to box. I looked at midfield three and I worry about Liverpool.
Yeah, his reference to last season, I think that was because Brian Gravenberch loves to bomb forward. He's number 8, he loves to bomb for maraud forward, those long legs of his, and get involved in the attacks. Then as he did it last season, there were gaps in midfield left, wide open gaps. They left Maka completely isolated. Szoboszlai was bombing forward as well, and as soon as we lost possession, there's a big huge gap in midfield. Maka was on his own. He was the most deep line player. And he had no hope. He was ran past and balls flew past him, and players ran past him, and it was just disastrous. So, I know it's the midfield we have now isn't ideal, far from ideal. But Carr has a point. But I think if Gravenberch can be drummed into his brain to be a little more defensive and not to be marauding forward, either let Szoboszlai do it, or let Gravenberch do it. Go forward, either or. Neither are sixes, are very defensive minded. So we're kind of in a bit of a pickle in that respect, Maka similarly, Maka can act as a deep line midfielder, but in terms of pure defensive, I'm not too sure, But look, he has a point, Cara, but it's not ideal. But look, we all know that anyway. If I'm reading that quote right, Cara's saying that Szoboszlai will be the number 10. Then we Wirtz is the number 10. So I'm not sure what I'm just reading it now, but I'm not sure what he's saying there. But yeah, I mean, Szoboszlai can't play as a number 10. He can, of course, but he shouldn't be. Wirtz is their number 10, second striker. Behind Isak, so it's has to be Szoboszlai and Gravenberch or Nioni or Maka in the pivot. And I suppose the most defensive, I didn't look, the only one who's defensive minded and who can play as a number 6 very well is Neoni. Other than that, between between Gravenberch and Maka, neither are very defensive minded. Of the two, I think Maka might have more discipline in playing deepest and covering the back 4, whereas I think Gravenberch is less disciplined. He just loves to join the attack. He can't help it. Now he's quite good at it. So, but if it's him and Zabazan in midfield, either all have to be the pivot or be the more defensive.
Well, Jamie has a problem with Tabasa. We're going to have to get used to it, really, because he's there to stay in that midfield this season, clearly.
He is, Brian, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
I don't. How long will it take for this? I'm assuming it has been. Because it's been confirmed by FSG, and they've already been added to the board. So I assume it's already passed.
It is, yeah.
Oh right, yeah. That's a good deal. No, it is. That's good. I think Munoz will. Hopefully he's fit and robust.
Yeah.
Again, when someone has got such a large part of their game is based on sprinting power and all of that, you just hope those. You want to say the word, those hamstrings kind of hold up,
Yeah.
It's such a vital part of their game is basically the explosiveness. So the ankles and the hamstrings, really, that's what you just hope they don't have any issues there. But
definitely, Brian. Yeah, absolutely.
He gives me Shaqiri, Bellamy kind of vibes.
Oh, he does, absolutely. A similar kind of a gait, he's similar size, stature-wise, and height. And Bellamy is a little bigger up top, a little bit broader. But he's very similar, Bellamy, that kind
pace,
of...
Pace of Bellamy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then that kind of versatility of a Shaqiri, that kind of bench option, not always a starter. More often than not a starter, but...
I mean, Bellamy was no slouch. He had ferocious pace, Bellamy. This guy has even more pace, he's even quicker. So
if he could finish like Bellamy now, Bellamy was, as much as I dislike Bellamy, and he didn't do it all the time, but he could finish. He knew where
the goal was, absolutely.
Top corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
He's capable of that, so.
Yeah.
He should be a Newcastle player. We should not fooled him from them. Maybe a bit of a. Maybe it looks like a, what would you call it? Not a sop, but a little gesture, almost probably a better word, a gesture for the manager to say, hey, look, I like that guy, go and get him. Okay, we'll go and piss off Newcastle again.
One more time, yeah.
Yeah, there's nobody left who we want to buy because we ain't getting them.
No, I think Newcastle now are after Paulina off.
Don't tell Rodney that.
Paulina, they're after now to replace Tonali, so. But,
Is it? Should probably work fine, but, it's obviously a downgrade, when something like that, you lose something like that.
It's a downgrade. Absolutely, Brian. Absolutely, yeah. Tell me this. I was just thinking about a backup for Isak, today. And what would you think? What do people think of if we put in a cheeky bit for Jimenez from Wolves as a backup, squad player only backup for Isak?
Jeez. Interesting shout.
I know we haven't mentioned our backup for Isak yet, I mean, we could do the backup for Isak. It depends on what kind of wingers we bring in. If we bring in someone like Ryan, he can also play number 9, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be Ryan now. It's probably going to be Mbaye, but someone. Jimenez, he's in the championship with Wolves. I'm sure he'd love to come downfield and even be on the bench.
He's at Wolves. Yeah, he's back at Wolves. That's right.
Back at Wolves. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. He scored as well. I scored a penalty today, earlier, pre-season.
Yeah,
Or no, sorry, in
No,
championship, yes,
championship
it's
kicked
back.
off today.
It's
Yeah,
back.
championship
It's
kicked
back.
off
Yeah, it's
today.
back. Yeah, yeah.
Of course it
It's
did, because they have to play 57 fucking games each.
yeah,
Absolute madness. That's
yeah,
why some people outside of England, they think, oh, they don't have no idea how good and how competitive and how difficult
yeah.
the championship is.
Oh, it is
Like
hugely competitive.
if you can
Yeah.
compete in the championship as a young player physically,
Mm,
that says a lot, because it's
yeah,
42 games a season,
yeah,
playing a lot of big, strong teams. But the
yeah.
level in the championship now, some of the players that are in the championship are not, they are good fucking players.
Oh, they are absolutely. Yeah,
They're really, really strong
yeah.
league.
Oh, look, the proof of how good the championship is and how competitive it is. The fact that some of the big clubs who left the Premier League have never got back up again. They dropped it. You know.
I mean, I know the promoted clubs usually go down and all of that, but
Yeah,
I mean, it's not really so much. It's about like the physicality. If a young player can go there and do
yeah,
well,
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah,
um,
yeah.
we see Sunderland come up last year, and I'm glad they did it right.
Mm,
They spent money, and they could
they
have
did.
cemented themselves. It would be precarious. It would be
Mm,
precarious at almost, but Sunderland for me should be in the Premier League. They're too big a club not.
they are. Yeah. Big fan base. Yeah, yeah,
One club city. Up in the northeast, it
that's it.
drags football.
Yeah.
It spreads it out. It stops it being so London and like even Brighton and Bournemouth. It's
Mm,
very London and
mm,
Southern centric. Bring
yeah,
Middlesbrough and Newcastle and Sunderland in the Premier League. It would
yeah.
and Leeds as well. You know,
Definitely. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Leeds like Newcastle versus Sunderland is one of the biggest derbies going. Like,
That's huge. Yeah, that is indeed.
but yeah, there are two clubs. Would you say? I mean, at least on the pitch, and I know, like I said, it's precarious for Sunderland. I'm not sure about their ownership stuff, but there are two clubs at the moment who would appear to be on very different trajectories: Sunderland and Newcastle. And when the Saudis
Yeah.
took over Newcastle, it will be, and Sunderland win in the championship, it'd be insane to think that Sunderland could very easily finish above Newcastle this year. If Sunderland improve on what
Oh
they
yeah,
did last
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I have a horrible feeling about Newcastle. I think they're going to slide, and they're in trouble this season. They're in trouble already unless they make
year, can
4
they
or
go?
5.
You think they
You
can
know,
go? I
not
think they
go,
can
but
go.
it'll be precarious. I don't think they'll slide onto the table. I think they'll probably avoid relegation, but I think
Because I think it was like 11th, Ray. Well, I think last year they were, I think it's 11th.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean mid-table, but
That's
I'd say that
bad, man.
yeah.
That's
I
really
don't.
bad.
Yeah, all it is. I don't think they'll better mid-table coming season. I think
So you
15,
think they'll do
16.
worse than 11th, basically? Yeah, because I think that's a distinct
I do.
possibility as well.
I do. Yeah,
That's a
I do.
distinct possibility.
Yeah. I mean,
They could
all
finish
this,
13th. Easily, they could finish
they
13th.
could. They could. They could. The way Sunderland are playing, like, I mean, last season they had a fantastic season. Sunderland, they made Europe. Unbelievable for a team like Sunderland, big club. But in fairness to them,
Mm-hmm.
they did very well. And a lot of teams around that end of the table are improving all the time.
And which
Whereas,
team, remind me, which team was it that was taken over by someone with unlimited money? See, it don't always work that way.
no,
Don't
it doesn't.
always
No,
work
no.
that way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. No, you're spot on, Brian. What you're saying there. I'm happy about this minority, minority stake, which will become probably a majority stake in due course. But with a hint of caution too, we have to be careful too what we wish for.
Just patience as well. Just kind of
Patience,
have like
exactly. Yeah,
bit of
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
just
And you know
temper
what?
what you like.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen tomorrow. Basically, is what we're
No,
saying.
no.
Like
I mean,
it'll be
yeah,
a year, 18 months
it
out of
will.
the
It
season.
will.
And
Yeah,
we'll see.
it will.
But as you're
And
saying, the FSG is still in day-to-day control. The model doesn't
they
change.
do.
It's
No,
still
exactly.
what it is.
Yeah.
So
Sustainability. That's it. Exactly. That's the name of
few
the
new
game.
names, on the board. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
it's not like even it's not. Oh, January. Bezos is
Mm.
going to put 300 million in January for transfers. Probably not.
No, no, no. Well, I was just thinking as well. Their motives. Now, I don't think they're. If they do buy the club outright, I don't think their motives are to sell on the club again to make a profit. Because if they
I
buy the
know.
club if they buy, like, they're building, they're multi billionaires. So if they buy the club
What are
from
we going to be
FS,
worth?
Yeah,
8
exactly.
when they bought it.
I mean, yeah, 8 when they buy it. I mean, is an extra 2 or 3 billion, and if they sell it again, it's, they're, I mean, Bezos, what, 250 billion, whatever he has, so many 100 billion, they're all billionaires. Like, I mean, an extra billion or two divided between, a few parties.
27 people, like, yeah.
Exactly. So, like, so the
And the
motive.
lawyers. And the lawyers and the fees.
Yeah,
and
the legal fees. Yeah, exactly.
tax and da. What's he going to make?
Yeah.
100 million, 120 million.
Yeah, stuff. Yeah, unreal.
Like, and when is the club going to be worth 11 billion? Like, you're then just waiting for 25 years of inflation.
Of course, yeah. I mean, yeah,
You
and
know,
I can't see it being
you
worth.
can't turn
Yeah.
buck on them. You can't
Not
buy
at all.
something.
No. So if you look at the motives, so the only motive I can think of, their aim is to make Liverpool obviously the most successful club in European football or world football. Number one. Number two, to make them the biggest club commercially in world football, with Real Madrid being the yardstick for that. That's all I can see. Their motives, to obviously
Be bigger than that. Have a go.
Yeah, exactly. Be bigger, and I'm sure they'll. Will I think they can achieve that.
But also, let's not forget that over the last 40 years, we've done a pretty good job of that ourselves.
Oh, we have. Yeah, we have.
We've gone toe to toe with Real. We've made look like I always do the European royalty thing, and if you do the European royalty Rorschach test or whatever you call it, you say Spain, you say Real Madrid, you say Italy, you say AC Milan, you say England, you say Liverpool.
Exactly.
Liverpool is the European royalty club. So we're built on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why we're better than everybody else, in my opinion. That's why we're a better club.
You're right.
Not because of the fans, not because we're special or different. What makes us categorically, demonstrably better than all of the other English clubs is because we've routinely dominated in Europe, and they never have. They all have. Yeah. We have 20 league titles, you 20 league titles. They have 10. How many European cups?
Yeah. It's not. We have the notoriety, the history, the notoriety, and the fame.
We are European royalty.
We are.
Arsenal are. Nobody in Europe knows who Arsenal are. Man City are
minnows. Yeah, exactly.
New money. PSG is new money. Man City is new money.
Yeah.
Chelsea is look, it's Chelsea. But even Man United, they have to go back to that little time in the 60s.
Yeah,
and that one time with
68. Yeah.
And that's it. We did it for decades. So we've always pushed Real Madrid as a club. Is what makes us stand out. We have more European Cups than Barcelona. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, we do. And I think FSG, FSG have taken us so far in terms of commercially, and obviously, look, the figures don't lie. They've done fantastic. But I do think Bezos and Amazon and the consortium can bring us up another level to match and go beyond Real Madrid. That's the aim, I think. That's the aim, and that'd be just fantastic. Like you said, when people mention English football, Liverpool will come to mind immediately instead of Man U. That's what I want. Obviously, I want a very successful team. They're going to have to invest in the squad as well, obviously, in time, and make sure we build a successful team. Success on the field means success off the field, commercially, sponsorship, and so on and so forth as well.
Would you agree with this statement I just made in the chat? John said, do you think Kenny deserves a statue? I said he deserves 3. 1 as a player, 1 as a manager, and 1 as a man.
Yeah, 100%. King Kenny is God.
He is. He is this club. He is
Mr. Liverpool. He's Mr. Liverpool. Now, this may be controversial, more so than Gerrard. King 100%. Kenny is Mr. Liverpool. People don't, a lot of younger viewers now, just as a player, he was, I was very young, but when I got into Liverpool, and I remember Dalglish 85, 86, player manager. But I remember watching videos of him, before that when he came from Celtic. What a player, Brian! He, people know, we all know, he was a genius on the field, an absolute genius. And I mean, he deserves 3 statues, absolutely, without a doubt.
And that's what gets forgotten, because he is Liverpool. He is Mr. Shankly Kenny.
Yeah.
And people kind of remember Kenny the man, Kenny the hero.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
it's sort of like
yeah,
you get kind of Kenny Dalglish, the
yeah.
manager, kind of because so actually people forget that Kenny
They
Dalglish, the
do.
player, was like,
Yeah. And that's
what would
understandable,
you
people
call him?
forgetting, as time passes, people do forget, it's understandable. New generation of people coming
Yeah,
into football, it's,
but he was
I
a
mean,
9, he was a 10, like he scored hundreds of goals.
he did, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like this guy
All kinds of
was
goals.
real good. This
Yeah,
guy was a
yeah,
proper football.
him and Rush were just devastating, devastating. But as well,
Like in
I've
today's
noticed,
money, Kenny is a
oh,
180 million pound player.
he'd probably be the most expensive player in the world in world football. He would
Yeah,
be.
forget
He's
all
like
the
exactly.
manager stuff. Even if he was just a player today, he's
Yeah.
in that 150
Oh,
million
he is.
pound bracket.
He is 100%. Yeah. He's in the Elise bracket, big time. But as well, Pat, I've noticed as well online as time passes by, Brian. People forget about Bob Paisley as a manager. This man,
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
imagine winning 20 major trophies in 9 seasons from Bob Paisley. That's just ridiculous. There's that, you have to see Paul, who's the greatest, British manager. People, vote for Fergie and whiskey and all. And look, I know he won a lot of trophies. Look how long he was at United for. Yet he didn't dominate in Europe. Bob Paisley, 20
He
major,
won
unbelievable.
far more than Shankly ever did. He won far more. Like Shankly was different.
Yeah.
He started it and he got but
He
Paisley,
did, of course. Yeah, he did. Shankly was
Paisley is like
yeah,
Ancelotti level of trophy winning.
big time, Brian. Yeah, people, you see the polls. Oh my, cringe. You've no idea. Bob Paisley was just a genius manager, white man, but a genius manager.
3 European Cups.
Yeah, 3 European Cups. Yeah.
3 European Cups. Do you know how many people? 3 European Cups.
Yeah, yeah.
Not many. I think there's 4, maybe.
Yeah.
I think,
and as well, the players he brought in, he was able to, King Kenny left, Keegan left. He brought in Dalglish, unbelievable. Spotted Kenny and brought him in. The various players he brought in to legends retiring or moving on, to bring in other players, a new team. He was fantastic. What a team he created! It was just ridiculous. Bringing in Alan Hansen.
Mark Tico saying, what does the panel think about the idea of a Mount Rushmore statue of our best managers? How many are on Rushmore? Is that 4 or 5?
Well, Shanks, Paisley, Fagan, Dalglish, and Jurgen.
Depends how many it is. Is Rushmore 4 or 5?
Oh yeah, I think it's 4.
Oh, is it? Okay.
We'll have to make a 5th.
Jesus, rough. Well, obviously, then Shankly, Paisley, Keegan, Shankly, Paisley, Kenny, and Jurgen, I suppose.
Yeah.
Put Jurgen under. You have to kind of put Jurgen under.
Yeah, I'd really put Joe Fagan in too, but that's Jurgen has to win. Jurgen is in, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's kind of unlucky Joe kind of thing.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah. But you can't leave out the other 3. I mean,
you can. Yeah.
So, that's pretty simple to me. Yeah, Paisley, he's any manager ever won. Shankly, Kenny is Kenny, and then Jurgen is Jurgen. Pretty straightforward, that one.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Some clubs and all that. You talk about the greatest 11 and all that. Like we can make 3 11s.
I think 3. I think 3. Yeah, I think 3 world class 11s, but we could. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Same with the match. I mean, can you imagine Rafa with half of Mourinho's budget?
Yeah, I know.
We would have had David Villa, we would have had Silva, because they were only like 5 and 8 million.
Yeah, totally.
People like that, we could have Danny Alves.
Yeah.
If he just had half, not even half, fucking a quarter of the budget that Mourinho was given when he went into Chelsea that first year, breaking records.
Yeah, Rafa would have built a much stronger team. He had Stevie G obviously as well, at his peak. But
so close. He came so close to a perfect team. Oh, that Valencia machine. He was that's how good Rafa was. People talk about Valencia and he called him the machine. We saw when they destroyed us 4-0 at Anfield, Pablo Aimar and all this stuff. They destroyed us.
Yes, yeah,
Couldn't get
he
near
did,
him.
yeah,
And he got close to that with us. He got real close to
yeah,
that with that Mascherano, Alonso, Gerard
yeah, all
Torres.
big time, yeah. What a midfield,
If
yeah,
you'd
yeah.
given him just a Villa and a Silva to
Yeah,
add
we need
in, or a winger and a
exactly.
David or something just to
Yeah,
add
someone like
in,
that, yeah, yeah. Just a little bit
Danny
short, yeah,
instead of whoever. Like we had
yeah,
Ryan Bauer, fair play to Ryan. We had Yossi, fair play to Yossi. But if we'd had David
yeah,
Silva,
yeah,
Yossi,
yeah, yeah.
if we
We
had
needed,
maybe
yeah, someone at a little higher level, just to complete the team. Yeah, we came close, but
the likes of Albert Riera, trying to fit these guys in on the left.
yeah,
You had
Riera, jeez,
Alonso's and
yeah,
Gerrards.
yeah,
Alonso's and Gerrards in the middle, and
yeah.
the Rieras and the
We brought
Robbie
in
Keanes.
Robbie Keane Littman came in, some good players came in and out, but just not quite. Didn't click,
Oh, Varnon, you mean Varnon? Littman was
Veronin,
nice.
oh Jesus, oh, he was a disaster. Yeah, Christ.
What's it? Yeah, the Robbie Keane one. I don't know
I
about
thought,
you, but I really didn't want us to sign Robbie Keane.
did you not? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
That
sorry he
just
went.
seemed,
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I was a bit, just the price as well at the time. Like it was almost, I
yeah,
think it was as much as we paid for Torres. I was like, fucking hell.
yeah, yeah. And he didn't stay long, but I thought he'd
6 months.
stay. Yeah, it's all fucking ridiculous. I thought he'd. No, should have gotten a season out of him. And, he
Like
never got
when
a
you
full.
look
I don't think he got a proper.
back,
Yeah,
crazy transfer. Like when, like at the time for the, like that's like us spending, say Robbie Keane money.
mm,
That would be like us buying someone for 90 million and
yeah, yeah,
6 months later selling them back to the
mm,
club we bought them for 75 million.
yeah, yeah,
It was an insane transfer.
yeah. It's a lot of
Never
money.
gets talked
Yeah,
about him. Never gets
no,
talked.
yeah,
How much did we spend on him? Wasn't it like 30 odd million or something like that?
Oh, it was like 25 million, 20, it was like
yeah,
24 million, but it was like close to the record. Torres was our record at like
yeah.
25. And,
So yeah, but
like
at the time,
in
Robbie Keane,
today's
yeah,
money, that's what
Do you
that is
know?
very near 100 million in today's money.
Do you know what
Football.
yeah,
annoyed me more about that
mm,
transfer, Brian? At that time period, we were trying to get David Villa. We were trying to get who was the other one? We were trying to get Aguero as well. But we always just went for like the crap option, didn't we? During them time periods, like some of the players that we were
yeah,
linked to, and we'd always go for the cheaper option.
totally, Sonny. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
Because I remember we
Uh,
tried to get him the season before even Barcelona were trying to go for David Villa, and we were still at Valencia. And I remember, they were often, I think they wanted like maybe £7 to £10 million more, and we just refused to pay it, and then pivoted. And I'm sure it was Robbie Keane we got instead.
yeah, yeah,
I just didn't want to see him play for Liverpool. He'd been so shit for Ireland so many times. I used
yeah.
to love Robbie, especially when he went to Inter Milan.
When he
That
was
was
younger,
so cool.
when he was younger, Brian, he was a fantastic
Oh,
striker. When he was younger, he was
remember
just,
when he went to Inter? Do you remember
yeah, oh
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
buzz
yeah,
that was
yeah,
so big in Ireland? Like people in
yeah.
Ireland couldn't believe Inter Milan had bought Robbie Keane when he was like, I think it was at Coventry they bought him from.
Coventry,
And he
yeah,
was only
yeah,
about 20. We couldn't
mm,
believe £11 million.
Yeah, that was a
yeah, yeah,
weird
yeah,
transfer, that wasn't it?
We couldn't believe that we were like, oh my God, we must have one of the best strikers in the
mm,
world. Because Romario or Ronaldo is there and fucking all
yeah,
these
yeah,
people are there.
mm,
And he was going there. And
yeah,
then the coach that was in charge when they signed him got sacked. Typical Italian football, got sacked after about 3 weeks.
mm,
And the new coach that came in, again, typical Italian football, said, no. Basically, I don't want him, don't like him, don't need him kind of thing. And that was his career done in a day,
yeah,
basically, since the new coach came in. But for Robbie Keane,
mm,
that was such a huge thing in Ireland for him to go to Inter Milan at that price. Then we end up paying that.
yeah,
What did he get? I
yeah.
can't, someone tell me. I'm going to guess
He was good for Tottenham,
4
wasn't he?
goals. Did he might have scored 4 goals for us in the league?
Yeah,
Yeah.
6, 7 at a push, but
around
but on his day, he was a fantastic.
around
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a good player. You could see like why we signed him. You know what I mean? Like it did. I wouldn't say he was a
Yeah.
bad player. Yeah, it was just like I don't know. It just
Fox in the
didn't really
box.
work at Liverpool. But you could see like he was a fox in the box. He was good. He had an eye for goal when you actually did get like obviously create and give him the chances. He would score for you. But
Yeah,
I think he just
would,
come to us a little bit too late. Like, I think if we would have got him like when maybe Tottenham had got him when he was younger, he probably would have been all right for us.
Oh, totally.
He
Yeah,
got
totally.
5. He played
5,
19
yeah.
league games. He scored 5 goals.
Oh gosh, not
Ooh.
good. Yeah.
Well, he was only here so that's just a season, innit? He was just there for one season, innit? And gone.
No, he was here for 6 months.
6 months. Yeah.
6 months. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, we sold him
In and
back in
out.
January.
Yeah.
that's a bad.
That's why it's one of the most insane. Like Sonny, that's what I'm saying. We spent like 20, like basically, we spent the equivalent in today's money of 80 million, I reckon, on this guy. And 6 months later, sold him back to the club we bought him for like 70 million in today's money. Completely insane transfer.
Yeah. I was sorry it didn't work out for him. I was a fan of Robbie Keane at the time, and I was sorry it didn't work out for him. You know, because on his day he was a brilliant striker. You know,
Mad career. Look, Wolves, Coventry, Inter, Leeds, Tottenham, Liverpool, Tottenham, Celtic, West Ham, LA Galaxy, Aston Villa, ATK.
He's made some money over the years.
Yeah, that's some career. That, to be fair.
Yeah, he's made some money over the years. Robbie Keane, phenomenal money over the years.
578 games, 251. It's not bad, and that's just league. That's just league.
Yeah.
251 goals. Currently manager of Ferencváros in Hungary, as anybody was wondering.
80 goals for Tottenham's not bad as well, to be fair.
That's 1 and 2. Yeah.
250 and 570 is fine. That's a good career. That's going to make you a lot of money.
Yeah.
I always liked there was loads of at that time period. Yeah, there was loads of Tottenham strikers I wanted. Like there was like Pavlyuchenko, Defoe. There was loads, wasn't it? Berbatov, and then we ended up getting Keane. That's why I was a bit annoyed when we got Keane. So it's like of all the strikers that they had at the time, you get this one.
I wouldn't have said that to Clive Allen back in the day.
Berbatov is the only player that I can watch clips and compilations of.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
And not care that he's wearing a Man United shirt when he does it.
Well, unless when unless the hat-trick again against Brian.
Yeah, against us, obviously. Yeah.
But remember when he was at Tottenham, when he was when Berbatov went to United, he was a little bit older, wasn't he? And his legs had gone. When he was at Tottenham, he was still young. He still had his legs. He was fast. He was pacey. He was so scary to go against.
He was.
Oh, I'll sit here and say the best first touch in the Premier League.
Oh yeah,
I've never named someone with a better first touch.
Yeah, he had a great touch, all right. Yeah.
The only person maybe to put up against him is maybe Bergkamp, Berbatov, maybe.
Mahrez, Bergkamp, and Dembele. Again, you can put them all in the Nobody better. Yeah. Nobody had a better first touch, maybe as good. But Berba, you want to like stand there and some idiot Tom Huddleston just hoofs the ball 60 yards, just pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah.
No better buka, as I say over here. I mean, that's just love. A cushion for a foot. Unbelievable first touch.
Yeah, he sure had.
Yeah, it really annoyed me, John, when United got in. So remember, Liverpool were linked to him as well. Like Liverpool, like during that time period, used to kill me because we were always kind of like the window shoppers. We were always looking at these great players: Berbatovs, David Villas, Agueros, David Silvas, and Samal, and we'd never get them. And we'd spend the whole transfer window, like dreaming, sitting there thinking, "Oh, can we just get 1 or 2 of these players through the door?" And we just never ever did.
Never did, anyway. I know, yeah. The joys of a Liverpool fan at the time.
That's why I never know. When people come in this chat sometimes and have a meltdown, like start ripping their hair out, and I was like, come on, guys, it's not that bad yet.
Yeah, that's
why. No, not just there, like everywhere. Like you see, that's why I think of a lot of Liverpool families. I always think, like, come on, guys, like you've lived through this. You know what I mean? You're not 13. You've been through well worse at times.
Exactly. Yeah. I remember
Varnon,
going to school.
Albert
I remember
Riera,
going to school, and
Roger
full of
Smith.
United fans in my class, and I mean that was the
Oh,
Yeah,
time they were
same,
dominating.
same.
For 20 years, I had to put up with it, throughout life
I used to
and
have
school.
murder, murder. I used to have absolute murder with United fans because of football.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, but
that's the thing though, Sonny. In Ireland, you don't get like Ray. I don't know, like everybody. I have one of those kind of stereotypical 47 first cousins type big Irish families. But there's no line like over there. It's like, well, you're from wherever. Like you can have a big family. You can have an Everton fan, a Man United fan, and a Liverpool fan in that same family.
you can.
It's not like, they don't all go along family lines. Like, it's very often like the dad will be a fan of Spurs because Spurs were good back in the 60s.
Yeah,
And then the kids will be Liverpool, and then the older brother is Man United, so the younger brother goes Liverpool. And then you have a group of weirdo cousins that are Everton fans. So you can be there. If you've got a big family, there's never like, there's so many times you're sitting there. But with, like Ray is saying, I'm pretty much just exactly the same age here as him. I went up through the 90s and the 2000s as a Liverpool fan. It was all Man United, Man United, Man United. Like, because not only were they good, we had dropped off massively. That was the thing. It was.
And they used to rub in the, we've just signed Nani, we've just signed Ronaldo, all these superstar signings. Used to kill me more than anything, you know what I mean? Every season they'd be signing these amazing players, and we're just sat there like, oh yeah, we've just signed Harry Kewell or Bonnan or someone like that.
Oh, Harry Kewell break my heart, man. When Harry Kewell was good, he was phenomenal.
Oh, he was fantastic. Yeah,
Harry Kewell at Leeds in his pomp was an incredible player.
It just didn't work at us, did he? For some reason, weird as well. He was unbelievable.
Injuries. He suffered badly from his ankles or his Achilles. I think awful injuries. Yeah. But he was a phenomenal player on his day. Fantastic player, Harry Kewell.
Harry Kewell.
The only reason I brought Harry Kewell up, not that I thought he was a bad player, just because at that time period, if you remember, like we got Harry Kewell and we were trying to get Ronaldo, and United get Ronaldo, and obviously Barca ended up getting Ronaldinho, and out of all them players that were doing that switcheroo, we ended up with Harry Kewell.
From Leeds, yeah. But on his day, a great player, fantastic left foot, fantastic. Just injuries really blighted his career, but it's just.
That's why I don't moan now, because you look at Liverpool now, like, don't get me wrong, we do have, like, obviously this transfer window, it's annoying, but look at, like, one thing we do is, like, when we go out and do get transfers, look at what we're doing now. We're trying to get the best winger on the market. We're trying to buy Barcola. When we do stuff, we're doing big stuff now, Liverpool. We don't act like nothing like we used to.
Did you mention Pennant, Brian? Jermaine Pennant there, Jim?
Russell did. I mean, he was horrible for it.
Oh, stop.
One wonder goal. He had one wonder goal. I think
one wonder goal. Yeah. No.
I think he has one league goal for us, and that's it.
Yeah, he was bad, yeah.
He was tidy, but that was about it, nothing special,
It was back in the 4-4-2 days. Everyone was playing with a left winger and a right winger. And they were the most creative players in your team. So they were the most expensive, they were the most sought after and all that. And we kept going for left, especially left wingers, harder to find. And right wingers. And the good ones were getting snapped up by Chelsea and Man United and Arsenal. We kept being left with the dregs. Albert Riera, the guy from fucking Home and Away. The lad from Home and Away, what's his name? Jovanovic.
Jovanovic, Jesus, yeah.
Remember the worst player that whole period over. I've been to over hundreds of Liverpool games. The worst player I've ever seen play for Liverpool, and I'll stand on this. Stuart Downing. Oh my sweet man. Him or Barini or Stuart Downing, one of them two players.
He was in the midfield with fucking
20 million for him in 2012. 20 million pounds in 2012. That's a 60, 70 million pound player today, and Downing was horrible for us. Back in the day, Duff at his peak at fucking Blackburn. That you remember, everyone thought he was going to Liverpool the whole summer of broke my heart when he went to Chelsea. Because
he's going to come to us.
Don't worry, he's a Liverpool fan. He's Liverpool. All the Irish papers were going with that.
Yeah,
And then he goes to Chelsea. Harry Kewell at his peak. We got a broken Harry Kewell.
we did.
You know,
Yeah.
so hard. It was like, if this team, it has the best striker, Torres has the best midfield. If
Yeah,
it just had a left winger that was as good as Duff or Ronaldo, it could
Yeah.
compete.
Just remember, I remember when we had fucking Downing and Charlie Adam in midfield. Like Jesus Christ, like
Do you
two.
remember Darren went a
John
full
Joe
season, one full season without scoring a single goal, and he got one assist in the whole season.
That was his first season.
Mm.
After we spent 20 minutes, that was the same season. That was the same summer. I remember, because I was working in London. That was 2011. I was working in the kitchen, the radio on TalkSport all the fucking time. And that was the summer we signed Jordan Henderson. That was Kenny. We signed Donny to go. Charlie Adam, Stuart Downey. What a horrible bunch of players.
Yeah, I know. Downey had his injuries too, but he wasn't, you know. He was brilliant at Borough. Middlesbrough, he was fantastic. Just couldn't, you know, I don't know what it was. He just didn't perform as well as he did.
Swinging crosses. He just needed a left winger. The thing was, he had that thing where he'd take it in, he'd knock it past you, run onto it, and then try and cross it in. The problem was that when he did that kind of knock it in front of you, this guy was he was slow. He had no pace.
No, I know. Yeah, true.
You know, it was terrible to watch him trying to. Anybody was like, terrible.
It'd be like playing Harvey Elliott, like with right wing right now in the Premier League, like that. And he'd probably do a better job than what Stuart Downing did.
Probably. Yeah.
Joe Cole, do you remember Joe Cole, free transfer, 100 grand a week, sent off.
Yeah, Jesus Christ,
sent off in his debut.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I remember that. Chat.
Much better from that.
Yeah, went downhill from then. That day, went downhill quickly.
He was one of them players. When we signed him, it was just like, oh, we've got Joe Cole. I was happy, you know, made up. Obviously, we signed him, but quickly into a couple of games in, you're like, yeah, this guy's overweight. He's injury prone. Like he's not going to cut the mustard for us straight away. You knew that.
When he got sent off on his debut, God Almighty, that was the end of it. Then, like, you know, just his confidence went, and you know, and injuries then followed, and you know.
Do you know one of my favourite Liverpool players? And I wouldn't say he was a superstar player, and he come quite old. He was old when he come, even though he was an unbelievable player when he was younger as well. Maxi Rodriguez.
Oh, quality, yeah.
Oh, I know we got him old. He was a little bit older when we got him, but he still had that class. We tried to get him four seasons before, him and somehow out of Atletico, and we just couldn't get them.
Yeah, he was a quality player.
We spent 6 years being with somehow. Every summer we were with somehow. Every single summer.
Yeah.
He's one of the biggest regrets for most Liverpool fans. And you mentioned somehow to most Liverpool fans, and immediately just like it's just one of them players. What if, you know what I mean? If we signed him like this, we've had loads of them over the years, but he's one of the main ones that you can think of, can't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's only two reactions, Sonny. If you say Samel to a Liverpool fan, they'll either have absolutely no idea who you're talking about, or they'll look at you and go, "Yeah, man, I remember." It's just like that was at least 3-4 years. We're getting Samel. Every single summer, and he never went anywhere. Until he eventually ended up in Madrid, but every summer he'd stay at Benfica. It was just he's the winger. Like I was saying, we always needed a winger. We're obsessed with getting a top winger.
Yeah.
Varden, oh Lord above.
Konchesky.
That was the worst out of all them periods, when Roy Hodgson went that was rock bottom for me as a Liverpool fan. It couldn't get any worse.
We went from Julian Dix to Paul Konchesky. Left back.
Who was worse though? Who was worse?
I like Julian Dix, and I was
Konchesky. No, Konchesky. I was just going. Okay, but which was worse, Charlie Adam or John Joe Shelby?
Oh,
I give it to Charlie Adam myself.
Yeah, because
And he's
John
got-
Joe, even though he was clumsy and stuff, he still had the legs and the pace to get round where Charlie had him. He looked like he was running in glue, like he was stuck in a treacle, didn't he?
Ali Shelby scored a few goals, you know, popped up now and again, a couple of goal here and a goal there, you know. He scored more than Charlie Adaman, that's for sure, you know.
Oh, yeah, he had the screaming himself, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
So did Charlie. Charlie, his corners are worth 10 million alone. Adam
Yeah.
Ferguson stitching us right up there. I mean, if you've ever wondered what it would look like to see an actual pub player play,
Yeah.
it's Charlie Adam, but he is
Yeah.
one of those guys that plays for a pub team, and people are like, if there was a slightly different version of his life, he'd be a professional player because he's just brilliant. You know those random. I mean, everyone knows some guys like, yeah, Jesus Christ, he's good. He's got technique. He's all technique, no fitness. You know, he's just one of those guys. You see him playing amateur. Jesus, you know, if he looked after himself and he was younger or whatever, because he's got all the technique. But that's what he looked like. He didn't look like he could physically compete. But if you give him a ball, he can do something with it.
I could play, all right. You could play, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but Jesus,
There was a lad at my school, Brian. He was literally scouted by Everton, Liverpool, Chelsea, you name it, and he was. I'm not no joke. I was arguably one of the best. He was generally one of the better players I've ever seen up close and personal. He was a CDM. You just couldn't get near him, couldn't get the ball off him. He was huge, tall, gangly, kind of like a Fabinho style player. But he ended up being a world champion kickboxer. Like he ended up going down the kickboxing route and give up football in the end. But he was, if he would have stayed in football, he would have been unbelievable.
Pretty good.
Russell is asking, who's better, Durkout or Yossi Benayoun? It's clearly Yossi Benayoun. If you're just talking about actual footballing ability, who was better for Liverpool? But if you're talking about just pure footballing ability, Yossi Benayoun, he was a brilliant player.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant player.
If you talk about who's more effective in his role, I'd say Durkout.
Yeah, if you mean for Liverpool, I don't know. But if you just mean as purely as a footballer, then Yossi. Even Durkout would say it was Yossi.
We lost their kite, though, didn't we? He's one of them players there, Kite. You mentioned that name to any proper Liverpool fan, he'll instantly put a smile on your face. He was just amazing player, man. He was never one of them players he wasn't never the most technically gifted player, you know what I mean? You could tell there was certain aspects he wasn't good at, but he would run his socks off and press, he'd get that ball for us, he was unbelievable. I loved him.
Yeah, he was all heart and the work ethic was just out of this world. He would run and run and run and never stop, you know. Unbelievably hard working player.
Yeah, but not very good. Bernie is here.
Hi, guys.
I mean, even Durkout would say he made the best
Bernie.
out of what he had, you know.
Yeah, of course. He's a bit of like a Jamie Carragher, you know what I mean? He's not like even Jamie Carragher say, you know what I mean? I'm not the best of players, but yeah, look at the career, Kate Wright's a bit like that. Yeah, and Lucas Leiva, you get players like that. You can tell they're not the most gifted players, but they make a decent career out what they've got. Yeah,
good job. Yeah.
Do you know, I was going to say John Joe Shelby.
Bernie's here, yeah. Hi, Bernie. How are you?
Hi, Bernie.
Hi, Brian. You okay? Hi, Sonny. Hi, Ray. Hi, chat. I was just going to say, Shelby was like that for me. You know, he when you see an actor who gets a one major film role, and then they don't go on to do anything much afterwards, but you thought they were good in that original role. I think you get football players like that, and John Joe for me was a journeyman. He could pop up at all these different clubs and give them a good service. He was a grafter, wasn't he? You know, and he'd give them as best as he got, but he was never going to be as good as we needed. But if you look at his money, he's probably made a fortune out of moving around.
I'd say so. Did he go to Newcastle after us?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I don't know where he went after that, but he's been at a few, hasn't he? A few clubs.
He has, yeah. There was a bad streak in him too, Bernie, wasn't there, Shelby? You know, a bit of a dirty streak, discipline-wise. You know, He wasn't short of a red card either, or a nasty challenge or bit of a discipline. You know.
Yeah, and sometimes you need that though, don't you? Someone with a bit of bite in them.
Yeah, a bit of
I
bite is
think
good.
I think that's what the Sorojo's going to bring to us. Me, he seems like that sort of player. He's a bit like I've watched clips. So
Yeah.
obviously, I knew he was obviously anyway because he was a quite a high profile centre back anyway at
Mm.
Barcelona and that. But
Yeah.
I've been watching him a lot
yeah.
since we've signed him, and he's a bit like a Diego Costa style player. Not as much as that, but he's a bit of a wind up. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of footage of him like winding, like obviously Real Madrid players up in the middle of games and stuff, and he gets them carded quite a lot of the times as well.
Oh, he's an absolute beast of a man, I'd say too. Sonny, he's very physical, like, tall, very tall, physical, strong, aggressive. Yeah.
I read that he never shuts up on the pitch. He's either winding the opposition or he's roaring at his own players.
That's going to be positive.
He's going to be like a Nunes, Suarez. They're all the same. Like, not to say that they're all the same, but you know what I mean. Like most of them players from them regions, like they're very similar characters, aren't they?
Yeah, similar. Yeah. They share a similar kind of trait to be just very hardworking and intense, just very hardworking and never give up attitude.
Can I just say?
Well, I think we know who's winning the. I think we know who's winning the league. The Russell League, as we know.
I was just going to say, right.
Yeah, we always have to, as I say, they always come back to what Russell believes. So Russell has given his final verdict, and he's given us some extra kind of. I go, he's saying Hasley. I don't know how to say Jasley, whatever he said. Jasley looks so handsome as a manager at Newcastle. It's unreal. And he says the intensity when he shakes hands with the other managers as well. For war.
Yeah, Russell's moved from players now to managers.
Very good.
Is that Russell's admiration of handsome? We know it's tongue in cheek.
It's basically basically it's if is a player good enough, it doesn't matter is he handsome enough. We need Russell to confirm that these guys are handsome enough. Once he's had the seal of approval that way, then now we're on to managers. But
do you think Russell could give us a view on?
I don't want to hear his opinion on the Euro.
Are you sure?
I definitely don't want to hear his opinion on the Euro.
Yeah, we'll leave it out.
I know Russell at this stage now. He's back. Well, yeah, who knows? Carlos Tevez. Yeah, what a man. What a man.
Tevez. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
We know he's winding us up now. Visco.
No, that's Visco. I mean, Tevez actually looked like a cartoon character. He was what a footballer. Jesus. Imagine someone like Tevez under Jurgen Klopp. Mm-hmm. Like someone was saying earlier on, can you imagine Coyte under Jurgen Klopp? Klopp would have loved Dirk Coyte.
He would, yeah.
Imagine Suarez, Suarez or someone like that.
But Tevez, had equal the work with to a Dirk Coyte, but he had to, someone like Tevez.
The ability as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's important.
He's saying about Tevez, he was an animal, wasn't he, Tevez? He was just like...
It was quality football. He had the
it was unbelievable,
Yeah,
but imagine him and Suarez up front. God.
Well, you could look at. I could look at Tevez and imagine him, on a drawing in a cave from 2,000 or 10,000 years ago. It was like that sort of it was just I don't know, not animalistic, but he just.
Yeah, can you remember when United was at their peak, and that's when we were, what we were speaking about before, lads, about when we mates with United. That was the time I would say when I was most jealous of United, when they had Tevez, Berbatov, Rooney, Ronaldo, just an embarrassment of riches up top, and we're just scratching around with one player up there, really.
And previous to that, Tony, they had fucking Cole and York up front, Andy Cole and York, And then along came, Tevez, subsequent Rooney, Tevez, Jesus,
Do
Sheringham went there, and Joe was here as well. Welcome, Pound Joe. Sheringham went there, top Scotty Sheringham. This is ridiculous.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
You all right, Joe?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, man. What's going on, guys? When they had Tevez, we had Mascherano, Xabi Alonso, and Gerrard, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that was when Tevez and Mascherano went to West Ham in that incredibly dodgy deal.
Yeah.
That team we had there, similar to the Klopp team that we obviously had that conquered Europe and winning everything. Like that team we had under Rafa, that way, if we would have had the right back and right then, that was nearly the most complete Liverpool team we had. That
Yeah,
it was
we're speaking of it.
the
Yeah,
only
we're
team you can
speaking of
say
it.
in that whole modern, Liverpool era that you could put up against that Klopp set team, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's what we were talking. I know you were out there. We're just discussing just that a little while ago. How that team was so close. Only needed a few additions to it, like exactly those left wing, right wing players. But yeah, that was Tevez and Mascherano went to West Ham via third party ownership. West Ham ended up having to pay Sheffield United 20 million quid because they stayed up with Tevez in the team. They didn't play Mascherano because they were worried because they knew there was something up. But anyway, Tevez and Mascherano would have been incredible in our team. I don't know whose place Tevez takes, probably off the right in that team. Yeah, play him instead of Babel, you'll be fine. Off the left, I know Babel. Yeah, if you just throw Tevez in that team in a wide kind of area, be fine. Better than
Yeah, he used to do it for United, enough as well. He was good there.
Do you know when you hear
he was a very bad trainer as well. Like he didn't train very well at all. But then when it came to game time, it was just.
I love guys like that. I fucking love guys like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you hear, like the commentators over the years, and you remember the one where they'll shout Aguero, or Tevez or Gerrard, and you can hear them in your head, can't you? Neymar, different players, and that, and you hear them, and that was a great match, and you enjoyed it or watched it. But I always used to, my nephew, I took him. Keep saying it, I took all my nephews to the games, and I remember going with him, and I said to him, "What do you think of Drogba?" And he said, "I hate him." And I said, "But would you take him if he played for us, wouldn't you?" And he said, "Well, yeah, obviously, But so he said, "But can we call him dog breath while he's not playing for us?" And he was only a kid, So and when we talked about Tevez, he said, "Oh, Bern, we've got to get rid of him. He's hurting us. He's like really upset about it. But there's only so many players like that we can remember over the ages that you'd want to play for you, even though they caused us so many problems."
Lady B, what did because I remember you saying that your nephews were like, they wanted Slot to stay.
Slot in.
And all of that. Yeah. Yeah. So what's their take now? Like, are they happy? Like, were they upset when he left? Like, have you spoken to them since that time? And
yeah. I've seen it was two of them, two brothers. They're about 8 years apart, in age, and I've spoken to both of them since, and I said, "What do you think?" And they said, "Well, we think Slot was sold down the river a little bit, even though we didn't like his style of play." Basically, what we've all said. But they said they like Areola's intensity and they're prepared to back him. That's it, really.
Got it. Okay. So they were more like.
We're going into a bit of a new dawn now on the Liverpool. Everything's like going to be new. Obviously, we haven't still FSG hasn't sold all, but we've kind of got new owners now. Have come in and took over the stake. We've got a new coach. Seems like we're pretty much going to have a new team by at the end of probably next season or the next couple of seasons, because Van Dijk, Alisson, they're going to be everything's going to be just different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know.
Because do you know how I see this as a positive more from the ownership thing more than anything? Because the one thing that scared me when United were being linked with them getting sold a couple of years back, regardless whoever bought them, I just thought if they get bought and they get rid of the Glazers and they start getting this thing right, you know what I mean? We're going to be behind, and similar to all the others. I feel like in a good way. Because we've started that process ahead of time now, obviously we've got new owners coming in now. I feel like it's at least we know what's going to happen with the future now. At least we know where we stand as Liverpool fans, and we didn't feel like that less than a month ago. We didn't really know what was going on, did we?
That's true, son. Yeah, it's the dawn of a new era now is coming. I think Can
you imagine the other? The way we've watched, like when the Saudis went to Newcastle and they were spending the money. when you know the Middle Eastern guys, the sheiks were buying City, and we had to watch all that. And we know that they can't spend now. There's that cap on spending. We all know that. But I bet you that a lot of these clubs in the top 6 are worrying their heads off over us having Bezos in. They'll think, you know, like there's going to be backing all the way while they're in, you know. So we've had to sit back with FSG and you know, like a lot of us, I don't knock FSG. I'm happy with it. I've been happy with what they've done for our club. But if you're going to move up a notch and they're going to take us over, as long as they don't lose the ethos and the feeling of us Reds and how we feel about our club, as long as they don't think they're going to America in an NFL game, as long as they don't do that, I'm happy with it, you know. And I bet all these other guys and if these other clubs will be absolutely sick that they're coming to us.
Do you know what? Yeah, to be fair, FSG, they could have sold already. They could have sold the whole club to that consortium, right? That consortium between them all could buy Liverpool maybe a few times. And you know, I think that them doing the 30% is a really safe way of transitioning, the club. And you know, something that I've been listening to online. I listened to Quasi today. I listened to him for maybe like half an hour, and yeah. So anyway, right. So I was on there for half an hour, and there's people thinking that because this consortium has purchased the club, that now all of a sudden we're gonna have even more money. We're gonna now spend more money. And I'm just like, I'm saying this on the record, that's the furthest it is from the truth. All what's happened is that the risk of purchasing has now been split two ways now. That's it. That's really what's happened. So the money's already there. It's been there to spend. Because they've purchased doesn't mean now we're going to have even more money to spend. It just don't work like that.
Well, like that's the thing, you know, Joe. You're making a good point, you know, and I'm not trying to dampen anybody's fun or anything, but you do have some people, and I know, you know, Sonny, I'm not. You're very positive, and I know, but I also know that you're fully aware of how the realities of football. But there are literally people out there that seem to think we've just won the lottery or something.
Right.
And we haven't. Like
it's nothing like that. No.
You know, it's not, we can go and we're going to get Elise and Mbappe next year. That's not going to happen. You know, it will change, you know. As I was saying, I was speaking to someone about this before, and this was before the Bezos thing came in. And you know, Joe, as I said, you know, I've been asking about what is the future here with FSG. And when I was talking to, I said before, my brother-in-law, that it works in this whole thing in advising people that buy into companies and sell companies, and probably he's a consultant in that whole world. And I asked him what he thought about this Batia thing before Bezos was in it. And he said, it looks like they're selling up. He said, shorthand, they're selling up, but they're not selling up tomorrow. If this is happening, they're selling up.
Yeah.
But it may not be tomorrow. And then he said, but what you could have happened, and this is exactly what happened, is this is an investment group. This is a consortium. A shark, a whale can come into that consortium and go, how about instead of buying 30%, we buy all of it? And that's Bezos, maybe. Now, maybe it isn't Bezos. But this is, he says, this is a group that's maybe going to buy in a couple of years. But this could go in a year if a whale comes in and says, fuck buying 30% of it, let's buy all of it. And that's, to me, what looks like is happening here. It's 14, 18, 24 months maybe, max.
Definitely.
I don't think they're going to buy it at 8 billion though, right?
We're not going to do that.
I think it's going to be about 5 years before it's valued at that price of 8 billion. They're allowed to buy it at 8 billion.
They'll try and be smart. They'll wait till it hits a certain point where it's like it drops a little and then maybe try and go for it.
No. They're not drop.
but
They would
in
want
your
it to be
opinion-
valued. Yeah, go on.
But Joe, sorry, Joe, in
I'm
your
sorry.
opinion, isn't this just another, because this is something they haven't done in a long time. This is also another way of getting a valuation on the club, isn't it?
Exactly.
Pinning a value.
And
on
what
the club.
100%, because they've pinned the value to it. They said 8 billion. That's what they allow. If they want to go and buy the club tomorrow, it's going to cost them 8 billion. But the value is what, 5.6 billion right now. So if they were to buy it, they're buying it at a loss.
Like if everyone is out there saying, "Oh, I don't know what Liverpool is worth," you just sold 30% of it for 1.5. So that's pinning. That now tells you, okay, that's what that club is worth.
A third, yeah.
So they can now say, "This is what this club is worth." As opposed to everyone, well, it might be worth 2, it might be worth 3. Okay, let's put it on the market. Someone might say, okay, well, now this is now a third of it costs you 1.5. I know there's dollars and euros and all that stuff, but they're actually now we have a value on the club. Now we know what it's worth.
If they gain, Brian, I just wonder if they gain full control, shareholder wise, percentage wise, and they then go out and buy out the club at a price less than 8 billion, would they be in control then?
Yeah, because all they need,
yeah, of course,
isn't it? They just need 21% more, and they're the majority shareholders, aren't they?
Yeah.
The 8 billion thing seems like it's I thought it was, if you want to buy the club, you have to buy it valued at 8 billion.
100%, that's what that is.
Yeah.
But I read something different today, Joe, that said that clause says that if in the next 12 months the club hits a value of 8 billion, they can then activate that. Now, again, I'm not business financial guy, so that could be. But I read that today, so it's more like it's more like a trigger point.
That's weird. That's weird.
It is weird
because why would
hit 8?
Yeah, you're not hitting 8 billion in 12 months. That's not happening.
That's going to be doubling the club in
basically.
Yeah,
you're not doing that. That's not. I don't know how. Well, unless because it's a distribution, Amazon distribution. No one's beating that distribution in the world right now. So if they're planning on like the distribution of sales of football kits and paraphernalia, Liverpool paraphernalia, oh yeah, that's gonna skyrocket. But I don't see how that's gonna happen in 12 months. But what do I know?
He only owns 9% of Amazon. He's not even on the board of Amazon. So that's been over the whole Amazon.
But if 30% is approximately 1.5 billion's worth, they spent 1.5 billion of their money for 30% of the club.
It's 4.5 billion.
It says here on the Guardian, 1.65 it was. So it's just a little bit over 1.5.
So I mean, so if that's 30%, another 21% would be less than that. I mean that's 4.8. Yeah, so that's double that. So say double that again would be 100% of the club. That's far less than 8 billion. Far less.
You're not doing that in a year. You're not getting that in a year.
No way.
That's not going to happen in a year.
No, it looks to me like it's a long game. They've come in and they've staked their claim. They're in, and they're waiting for John Henry to have had enough, and he's nearly there, isn't he? So
it's 2 years, Barney. I say 2 years, and they'll be. I'm not saying in 2 years Bezos will be the owner. I'm not saying in 2 years Bezos will be owner, but I think in 2 years' time, FSG will have been taken over by whatever this consortium. Because Bezos can cash out tomorrow. He can cash the fuck out of this tomorrow. He's not a lead investor. He's not. If he wants to,
it's a drop in the ocean. The amount of money that guy's got, what he's put into Liverpool is nothing to what he's actually what he has. It's nothing. It's like going to the bloody chicken and chip shop.
Yeah, he's not trying to buy the whole thing on his own kind of thing. Like he's part
the
of
risk.
Between him and the other goals, isn't it? It's like estimated like 350 million that they've put in each or something like that. So it's next to nothing, compared to what he's worth.
I think Bezos put in a billion.
Bernie, go ahead, Bernie.
I was going to say also, thanks, Brian. It's a reciprocal transaction, isn't it? Because you know, like FSG know that they're going to be walking away soon. John Henry's had enough. He's out. He's in his 80s, so he knows it's coming. So he's allowed the door to open to let somebody in for that eventually to happen. And he's, you know, he's going to be working with I don't know, is it I don't know his name, Brian, that guy who was at you know, the guy who's engineered who's engineered the deal. They're going to be working together for the right moment to go on it. But you know, they've indicated they'll let somebody in, FSG, and the other guys have indicated that, you know, we're in and we want more eventually. And I just think they'll work it together when the time's right.
A lot of people, I agree with you, Bernie, but there's one part that I think that some people are not really considering. The fact that they've opened the doors and made the sale after having so many attempts from other potential owners over the years, they've finally opened that door. But there's no guarantee that they're going to continue to sell to the same consortium. So now, because it can get ugly, because if there's now another person or group that wants to come in and buy, now there's loggerheads. Now it drives the value up, okay? Because there's competition for ownership, and that don't be surprised if you see another 20% or 15% being sold, if that makes sense. Don't be surprised.
Joe, Joe, in your opinion,
Nilante's here as well. Nilante, how are you?
Yeah, all good, bro. Yeah, big up.
Hey, what's up, Nilante? How you doing?
While Joe's just made that point, can I just ask though, bearing in mind that the Indian guy is one of the richest guys, you know, supposedly on the planet, you know, the father-in-law of the guy who starts the consortium.
Mittal.
Yeah, Arcelor Mittal, the iron ore company, the Indian guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's iron giant, isn't it?
And we know Bezos is like loaded. So I just wanted to ask Joe, like, only in your opinion, who else could come in at that level and outbid them? Or who do you think, or do you know of anybody who could?
There's only one man.
Some random dude you've never heard of. Some random dude you've never heard of.
No, but it could be anybody, because remember, it's a consortium. Consortiums can get formed together. They just need to have a common interest. It could be anybody who has the money and the idea. It could be the Saudis, for the Qataris join in with blah blah blah. It could be literally anyone.
Or
exactly.
Elon Musk,
you see, it may not be on their own because they don't want to accept all of the risk. And I think
Joe,
that's
Joe. Do you know what? I'm going to tell you exactly the two words that you're going to see in a million headlines if what happens. It's two words are quote unquote rival consortium.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then when you see that, that's when it could be loggerheads. And that could affect us on the field. That can because it becomes contention, and we just hope that doesn't happen, because we know that John Henry and FSG, they've been giving Liverpool interest-free loans. Okay, so they're going to get their money back from the sale with no interest. So they're going to want to go for the highest bid as possible, unless they have some kind of sentiment whereby no, we're not in it for the money, which I just don't think that's going to be the case with, especially American owners. So, but that money, the money coming in for transfers, is not going to be coming in how people think. Yeah, we could have spent about 400 million this year. We can still spend it. The only thing that's happened now is that the risk is less for FSG to do it. And now there's more people to tick the boxes to say, yeah, go ahead, depending on however they've structured themselves. But we have got to do some buys now. We have got to buy some players, like, badly.
I'm just wondering,
if you put in shorthand, I think this increases our buying power by about maybe 10%.
Yeah.
It's not by 400% or not. I mean, this is just, and like you say, you've got a bunch of billionaires. They come together and they're all chummy, pally. Let's buy this. They ain't going to be happy being the small guy, the middle guy, the top guy, whatever.
Exactly.
These people are going to one of them's going to leave. Like what? Okay, let's just say this. For example, this Sabarin guy, right? His wife is on the board, Elaine Sabarin. You've got Ahmed Batia, who we can get to him. I like him at least, as much as you can. Then you've got Elaine Sabarin, and you've got this guy Kraus, who's from K5. So K5 is one of the investors in the consortium, and this guy Kraus is on the board. K5 is what Bezos invests in. So K5 is part of this consortium, and K5 is what Bezos is investing. So
Yeah, it's Bezos' investment company, isn't it?
K5, which is part of the consortium, which owns part of 30% of Liverpool. So it's by the time you get down to Jeff, he's a passive investor, as they say. He's not sitting there, he owns part of a thing that's both part of a thing. As it stands, that's all this is. Now, you're putting Batty on the board, vice chairman. You're putting Elaine Sabarin on the board, the wife of the Facebook guy, and this guy Kraus from K5 Investments. So those are your three new faces. They're on the board now. This to me is like, in 18 months' time, any one of those three people can be out. Any one of those three people can be out easily, because they're not in 100%. None of these people are in this 100%. Like, if this is all Bezos, he's not out in a year.
And one of the other sharks as well, Brian, could buy up all the other stakes, couldn't he? Like, remember when we sold that other small stake, like 5%? Like, say Bezos did want to buy it, he could start buying out all the other people now, couldn't he?
Easily. I don't, so there's so many people involved in this, that I'm not comfortable with that. So I like the idea. Like I said, with Batia, again, he's been spoken of very highly by the QPR fans. And the one story that I only know about him is that he resigned from the QPR board because the QPR board wanted to put up ticket prices. And he didn't want to put up ticket prices. Apparently, he's someone who really understands about football clubs. He understands that they're businesses, but he also realizes and he knows, this is basic stuff, I know, but what they mean to fans, that they're clubs, they're not businesses, yada, 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 yada. He knows all the important shit. But this is a guy that stepped down from the QPR board because they wanted to raise ticket prices. And he came back on the board. So just that on its own says, okay, this is a guy that's loved by these fans for a reason. He gets it. But we're not going to get, like I say, Robbie Fowler running the club. But at least get someone like that really understands that there's a culture, there's things you do and there's things you don't do. You can make your money. You don't have to raise ticket prices by £5 to make your money. You're Jeff Bezos. You don't need to raise you don't need another £5 a ticket. Hopefully just I'm clutching the straws here with these things, but at least get someone in that kind of area. But I'm also massively worried about the fact that FSG basically were at the forefront of sports data, analytics, all that stuff. They loved all that stuff. They were good at sports stuff, which has been completely overlooked. We need people that are going to come in and be just as, not this whole, we want to win by being clever. We want to be, win by being clever and spending money. We can't ignore how good these guys were. They understood sports. They may not have understood football when they came in, but they understand sports. They were rich guys that wanted to buy football clubs or wanted to buy sports things because they understood sports. So I really hope we don't, end up with a mess of fuck knows who running this club. Thinking it's just going to... I don't know. Look, it's great, okay? Jeff comes in, we're all rich, everyone's happy. I'm cool. I want to feel that, but I don't.
Can I ask you a question, Brian, just real quick? You see, you said K5. I don't know who they are, right? So you said
it's okay, Jeff Bezos, like investment, company, basically.
Oh, so he's investing through that company.
Yeah, he's invested in K5.
Oh, okay.
And the guy that's on the board is Kraus. He's from K5.
Okay.
And is invested in K5, and K5 is part of this consortium. So he's part of
Wait,
K5.
so wait. I just need to confirm something. So Jeff Bezos he has his own money going into it, and he's already invested into K5 as well.
No, just K5. No, just K5.
Okay, so he's got you. Now I get it. Okay.
And he's what they call a passive. He's a passive investor. He has no.
Dude, do you know what? Yeah, that is so okay. And then you said ArcelorMittal are involved.
Bhatia is Mittal's son-in-law. Bhatia is married to Mittal's daughter.
Isn't he like a president or prime minister or some shit?
No. He's just like super steel magnate. But Bhatia's been.
No, but who was the previous prime minister of Britain? He was married to one of Mittal's daughters as well.
Rishi Sunak. No.
Yeah.
Okay, no. That's different.
Okay. So it's another daughter. So okay. So you know why that's interesting? Why I find that interesting? Just that on that point, right? And it probably I could be, extrapolating too far out. But they're like iron ore infrastructure gurus, man. So if it comes to what we were talking about the other day about infrastructure and literally building out Liverpool. Yeah, I know, but they deal with massive infrastructure projects on the planet. They were one of my clients in Senegal. Like I know ArcelorMittal. In fact, there was without going down a whole rabbit hole, but they build hospitals by the mining sites that the people that are close to the mining sites will use.
Like they'll throw up a village in a week.
Yeah.
You'll go home on a bank holiday, you'll come back and there's a hospital there. You're like, what? Yeah,
hospitals, clean running water, all that, electricity, all of that. They are. So that's why when you was talking the other night, I think Sonny and Little Coppish was talking about it. I think we're talking about building out the one of the sides of the roads where it's hard to do and you need to have a feasibility study. Remember that conversation? If they're involved like that,
they've already started. Like that's one thing that they can. Like, there's not much that they can do that FFG hasn't, but that they can, like, you know what I mean, like, kind of continue where FFG has left off. You know what I mean, like I do think like that they've already started buying, like the opposite side. They've already started buying all the houses basically, and they're going to build the new houses and move the tenants from there into them. Then obviously knock that side down, and then there's a train station that they've just been granted permission for, so that's a massive thing as well. Anyone from in Great Britain now can pretty much get a direct train into straight to Anfield now. Once that
when you say they are buying, right? Because now my ears are perked, right? My ears are seriously perked right now. When you say they're buying, who is buying? Is it the council or is it the FSG buying it, or is it another shell company? Man, so that means they're buying it. They're okay.
Tried to buy the whole thing.
Investment opportunity. I need to have a look at that, because that there. I'm not too sure if you heard of DPPs, private placements, but those are basically private placements, and they would have to use a bond, and that council would have to do something called a revenue bond. They'll take people's money. The minimum that you can put in there. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna. Yeah, let me just not. Yeah. That is an opportunity. I need to figure out. So what is it? The Liverpool Council that are running, that are part of that? Then, or what council? What's the name of the council?
It's Liverpool. But the thing is, Joe, like Liverpool Football Club have outlined their plans and put them into Liverpool of what they want to do with the club, and obviously that has to go to a planning committee where they decide who's going to get what and all the rest of it. But then outside of that, Liverpool have formed a company with Liverpool Council, a separate company, and that's to do with the buying up of the houses and to do with the development of the land roundabout. And Liverpool put in and said to them, "Yeah, we've got land here. We've knocked the streets down. The land's been flattened. It's at the back of the COP," and they said, "We would like to build a hotel here, because we've got people coming in, flying out, and we'd like to."
I've heard that as well, Bernie. Yeah, they want a hotel, they want a train, and they obviously want to redevelop around Anfield and the Axel as well and build it up a little, similar to what City have done, basically.
That's it, but the council said no to the hotel, and said, no, we want like food courts and local vendors to be able to make some money, you know. So like they'll have like a market and food courts around there, and that's what the council want. But they formed a company in the Isle of Man because of the tax thing, and
Yeah.
Liverpool have already been buying up, not just at the back of the King Kenny stand near the garage around the back there, but they've also bought up 2 streets off Oakfield Road, going towards what used to be the Notre Dame, and Sonny will know where I mean. At the end of the road where the shops are, and then you've got you've got that open ground, haven't you, next to it? Well, there was a row of houses, a street along there. They knocked that down. They own all that. They own the land across the road from there, which is quite big. And they're buying up all the land because they want to still go forward with the rerouting of the road so that they can extend the COP. And they know it's a waiting game; it'll be a long time, but they're doing everything that they've got to do in the meantime to be able to facilitate that. And then the other thing is they're buying up land so that the streets where people live and don't want to move out of, they can offer them new build on there, which is worth a lot more than the properties they've got, you know, which are in decline. So that's where they're up to at the moment.
Can I ask you a question? This is like a really random one though, right? How much influence does the spirit of Shankly have when it comes to this project? Or is that quantifiable? If they do they have the power to say, okay, we're going to get the fans, and the fans are going to say, no, we're not happen. That's not going to happen. Will they be at the table? Is my question.
Well, I mean, this is only my point of view, but I think they have got a big influence because certain things that the FSG have done, Spirit of Shankly's got involved. They've done it in about turn. You know, the voice of the fans, aren't they? So I do think they've got a good influence in there.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to take a deeper dive on this. I really am, because if this is happening, this is telltale signs of business. This is money moving. There's an investment opportunity for every Tom, Dick, and Harry in that city right now. Like, I'm not even. That is an investment opportunity for everybody, because they can't use all their own money. They can't.
And I think that's why FSG has sold this stake off, because they're thinking, like, if we want to do, take Liverpool to the next level and build up basically what's similar to what City have done, you know what I mean? Build up like a football, like basically like a football in City round the stadium, even though the axe is amazing, maybe like, because they're trying to do it up again, there's this thing that they're trying to do at the back of it for the under 18s and the kids and stuff as well. We still own Melwood as well, so and obviously building a hotel, like things like that, like the train station, like these little things will take Liverpool to the next level.
Wow, this might be it. We might live to see us really, really become a gargantuan club. We're already gargantuan, but I'm talking rivaling the Madrids.
From what I've seen, Joe, it seems to me like where, like similar to what obviously Barcelona and Madrid have done. Like, I like what they've done, to be fair. They've not moved the ground. They've not changed us, done anything like that. They've just redeveloped it and made it like a better modern version of what they already had and a bigger version of it. And I think that's what Liverpool are like. It's going towards, obviously, like 80,000, 100,000. Like, I think we could fill that out. Even in a bad season, we would sell them tickets 110%.
And that station, like Sonny's talking about, Utting Avenue station, it's only a walk away from the ground. But
it'd be perfect. Imagine how perfect that would be, Bernie. Like, you know how hard it is yourself, because you've got to get to the Anfield. Basically, it's similar to getting Barcelona's ground. If you've ever been there, you've got to get into the city, and then it takes ages to get, obviously, to Anfield. You've got to get on buses or drive up there.
Yep.
If you could just get a direct to anyone, you know what I mean? Someone from France from now, if this goes through, can jump a direct train over from France, and then they could jump over to straight up to Anfield. Means that people from around the world and from everywhere will be able to get there very easily.
Don't be out in Bootle. Imagine not getting on a train in Paris and get dumped out in Bootle. Imagine that. Getting on a train in Paris and waking up in Bootle. What the fuck?
Utting Avenue will go out through Edge Hill, won't it? And then it's on the main line to London. That's
Let's
the
not assume
thing.
local knowledge. Let's not assume local knowledge. Sorry, this internet shit is happening again. I got kicked out. Not kicked
Oh
out, but
damn.
I was dropping. Look, it's been good all summer. I don't know why. My phone over the last couple of days, the internet here, which is getting this like 0% signal all the time. I don't know what's happening.
I've
But
been
anyway,
that now as well.
I don't know what's going on. But yeah, if I do get kicked out, that's why all the stuff disappears off the screen because I've been kicked out. So you have to reboot the internet. Well, I don't have to reboot it. I just have to wait for it to come back. But yeah, it was fine. It's been fine since we got here. Well, a couple of months ago, 2 months ago, we've been here. Just the last couple of days, it's just started dropping out all the time. So yeah, again, if I do drop and all the stuff, this disappears off the screen. That's just what it is. The Spirit of Shankly really have so much power as they're given by the owners. I know they've neutered them, man. They've neutered them. But you know, I know, Joe, you're a little bit worried about the Barcola thing. I'm not worried about the Barcola thing. When you've got a manager like Enrique coming out and saying as straight up as this, when the players don't have a smile here, it's better to find another solution. I mean, this is about as done as it's got to be for me.
Is that what he said? Is that
Oh,
verbatim?
yeah, that's a straight quote, man. That's a straight quote.
That's off the back of the Super Cup, the way he was acting. You know what I mean? Like the way he was acting after
The
that,
guy's
like he
gone.
didn't smile, he didn't,
Okay.
he didn't act excited at all. He did not want to be there.
You know, he's out.
Okay.
Like, you've got a manager like that saying, look, you can't have, look, players aren't, I always say that, look, if a player doesn't want to be at Liverpool, if they don't want to be here, you make it, like I say, you call a taxi as quickly as possible. You can't have unhappy players around, you can't have guys that want to be there, so this is what you've got now. It's not, you haven't heard anything like that. The Mbaye one, I don't know about that. But yeah, this guy's about as gone. They've signed their 3 players, man. They've signed Mika Gotch. They've signed Gakpo.
You should bring, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they've all been confirmed now, haven't they? They've got all 3 of them now.
So now it just boils down to whether we can actually do the business, because even though it's good to hear that he's going to leave, it just means he is going to leave. It doesn't mean it's coming to Liverpool. That's where I get concerned because of what I've seen over the years with Liverpool, you know. And
you're worried about a gazumping, basically. You don't
yeah, man, that is what I'm really worried about.
We've got PTSD, haven't we, off Chelsea or like anyone just swooping in right now, because like Arsenal could, for me, anyone could realistically now still could, come in, like Bayern Munich, Arsenal, anyone.
The only difference
that's where I'm still worried.
Yeah, the only difference is, I mean, and we've seen it happen.
We've
before,
agreed to deal with it, by the way. We've agreed to deal with it.
I was going to say, we've seen it before where someone said, oh, yeah, but I want Liverpool, and then gone somewhere else when they've been, But at the moment, he is saying he wants to come to us, isn't he? And that's, I mean, we've agreed personal terms, so we're probably ahead.
Everything is done.
Yeah, we're ahead.
The same thing was done with Yan Diamande. Yan Diamande, we
I know. No one's saying. Yeah, we know.
Don't worry, Joe. Don't worry, man. It'll be okay. We'll get Barcola. Don't worry.
We know it can all fall apart until he's our player. He's not our player.
Yeah,
right? But we've got this one as locked in as we can. But okay, let's play doomsday. Let's do the whole nuclear doomsday option. Yes, it could fall apart and he can go somewhere else. But he's already turned down Arsenal. That shouldn't be forgotten. He has been approached by Arsenal and he's turned them down.
And the key component is, lads, that nobody else is in for Barcola, only us.
Not at this fucking money, by the way. Not at this fucking money, by the way. 120 million.
Yeah, I know. They're ripping us off. They're ripping us off, right? They're ripping us off.
Let's just nip in and take him for 120. No, there's not many clubs out there doing that.
No.
Come on.
They're ripping us off, but look, I know. He's world class anyway. We'll get him. We need him.
But if for example, someone comes up and starts like putting in 145 million or something that gets to there, then we ain't doing that. And we know that Liverpool, Arsenal could do that.
No, they won't.
If Arsenal wanted Barcola, they'd have been in from.
No, he's turned him down, but Joe, he's turned him down. He was approached him and he said no, basically, he doesn't want to go to Arsenal.
Yeah.
They failed with Vinny Jr. And no doesn't mean no in business. It means raise up your money, raise up the money. Basically,
Yeah,
that's what it is. What it really
but
means.
but Joe, Arsenal spending left, right, and centre, and they've got people in every position. There's only one reason they go for Barcola, and it's to annoy us, as far as I'm concerned. Like to get
No.
one over on us.
Yeah.
I just think that like there's how many clubs can afford Barcola at the moment, and you'd probably talk about Bayern Munich, us, and Madrid, maybe Barcelona, but who else would pay for him?
City.
Oh, City,
Yeah.
sorry.
Man City, yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. You.
No,
Right.
you're right. You're
So,
right. You are right about that.
Brian, you all pay for him. So there you go. There you go.
Say that again.
I said you, Rat, Brian, you all pay for him. So there you go. That's some more clubs added to the list.
Oh man.
In terms of Barcola, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just over it. Just buy him and let him see what he does. Anyway, that's it, man. That's wherever my feelings about him. Just get him wherever and let's see if he can cook. Let's see if he can be the world class player, as some like to say.
I think we need him. We need him. It's not even a want. We actually need him. Minte is injured for the next 3 months, apparently, or some crap. So that's it.
2 to 3-ish. It's not a career ender kind of job, but he'll be out till Christmas kind of thing.
So what exactly happened to him?
Knee injury. I don't know. To be honest, I know.
Who knows? Hamstring, maybe. Who knows?
I always think it's about improving your blood stock.
What's your problem then with Barcola? Why don't you want us to buy Barcola? And don't tell me it's just because you don't like the fact that other people are saying he's brilliant. Okay, great. That annoys you, fine. But why don't you want us to get Barcola?
No, I've said it more time again, bro. I just think he's just overrated.
In terms of
as a player, I just think
obviously as a player, but in like what is it? I mean, okay, you say he's overrated. That's short hand. Give me the long hand.
All right, it's simple. He's effective of going in and out. I just think all round. I don't think it's all right for me. So like someone like Nico Williams for me, because he can cross, he can assist. He's more better all rounded player for me. That's what it is. I mean, Barcola, he can get in. He's a little bit more of a goal threat, but I don't know. I'm just not sold for him. I'm not sold by him. That's it. He's a good player.
They're very similar. Barcola and Nico Williams, very like in your face, like wingers. Take players on. Very good dribblers. They're fast. Got a good shot on them. Good assists as well. I'd be happy with either of them, to be honest, because I like Nico Williams as well. Like, to be fair.
But the thing is, Sonny, with the differences for me, Nico has more to this game. He's more of a creator. He's more of an assister. I think Barcola is more of the in and out, like more of a goal threat. Yeah, he can run, but that's for me. Nico Williams, look, as I said, he's a good player. I'm just not moved by him. But again, I'm here to be proved wrong. I don't hate
it's
him.
not about being proved wrong, Atlanta. It's like if Nico Williams isn't available, which it would appear. I mean, I don't think he's all of a sudden going to go to Barca or Real again. Barca back,
Yeah, we haven't heard anything about him going, have we?
So I don't. It's not like we're choosing to buy Barcola over Nico Williams. Yeah, it's like I say. Okay, other players, yeah, but I'm just specifically. What do you think is deficient in Barcola?
No, I heard that, but it's the club making a choice. That's it. Whoever they want, regardless whether they
But
just want Barcola, fair enough.
if we're assuming they can't get Nico, but I'm just wondering what is it about Barcola, the player Bradley Barcola, that you don't like?
I've just told you, bro. I just think, like I said, I just don't think he's all cracked out to be. He does certain things that, I just for me, he doesn't move me. Like I said, I've just explained to you. I just think there's someone out there, but of course, the club has influence. That's all. And a lot of fans, whether in chat and other, are just overrated it too much. Like it's the best thing since sliced bread. That's it.
I will say this. I have to jump off. will say this before I jump off. I think at this point, I'm prepared to take anybody that is better than Gakpo. Anybody, I don't care, because that's an instant needle mover. And if he's going to be the guy, I don't care how much it costs. Just bring somebody in better than what we have. So yeah, but I got to jump off, man. I got to go. I got to get this girl out the
Thanks,
car.
Joe.
All right, take care.
Bye,
Bye.
Joe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
See
it
you
looks
later.
like it's a swappy kind of thing that's going on almost. All being well, by the looks of it, all being well, Gakpo will hop off to Spurs for whatever kind of number we can get from him, which would be great. At his age, like I said, it's a good look. If you're ever going to sell Cody Gakpo, sell him now, basically.
It's looking like it's going to happen, innit? But at one stage, I thought, no, we're not going to get rid of this guy. We're going to be stuck with him. But it started. The signs are starting to get really promising when it's coming to get. I think Jones and Gakpo, I'd say, are 90% done now. I reckon.
That's all I say, Sonny. That's all I say is God bless you, Roberto De Zerbi.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say, man.
yeah.
You've got a hard on for Cody Gakpo. Thank you very much. Because yeah, like you say, if nobody quite wanted this guy, blah blah blah. If it isn't done yet, I know. I'm not sitting here acting, but let's exaggerate to make a point. We could easily be sitting here with Cody Gakpo when he's 29 years old, on 280 grand a week. So if you're ever going to sell a guy like him, you sell him now. You get a big. But if this De Zerbi thing, if he didn't specifically want this guy, I don't think we're selling. I don't think we're selling.
No one would be stupid enough to pay over, 40, 50 million pounds.
Bayern aren't giving us. They're gone cold by the looks of it.
Do you know, I think as well with Barcola, I mean, I haven't seen enough of him, or I've looked at him, but I'm with Nelanti in one respect. But I'm not saying he's, the answer to all of our problems. But obviously there's a price on his head for a reason as a player. And I think as well, at some stage you've got to trust the club that the analysts and all the rest of them have looked at our players and seen what we need. And if he's the guy we need, I'm just going to back them and go for it.
I think the most important.
Sometimes you don't just need new players, or you don't just need better players. You need new players. If you've got a guy who's here 4 or 5 years, you just bring in a new guy. That on its own can sometimes be enough.
Yeah,
and he's head and shoulders. The moment he comes through the door, he's head and shoulders better than any of the wingers we've got right now. Obviously Salah's left now. We haven't really got anyone who stands out, and he's by far going to be our best winger as soon as he walks through the door.
He will, son, yeah. And the most important other person in this equation is Areola. So if Areola wants Barcola, which he clearly does, then we have to trust in Areola and his judgment that Barcola is the man to play on our left wing and be a superstar, which he will be. I think so, anyway.
Yeah, my final word on it would be that Luis Enrique is building a strikerless wonder. They used to call it, the wingless wonders. I can't think of it, but it's a strikerless. It's a winger. It's a team. Like that's what he's doing. And he's perfect. That guy is in a sweet spot right now. You can see why Diamande wanted to be there, and this is the guy that is platforming these guys to the highest of their ability, and certain players aren't. Going to get in that. He's playing in that team. And Enrique that everybody wanted. 90% of people wanted Enrique to come and manage it. This guy, did he play every single game? No. But he's just won 2 Champions Leagues playing under this guy. If you say to me, Barcola or Gakpo, and you can get 65 for Gakpo, it's 100%. Not even. Yeah. Like I said, it's not. He's better. It's always about new energy, like someone that's been there. Like you go stale so quickly at a football club, and we always need someone coming in. And like this is to me, it's not rocket science. We bought these people. You buy new people, and they leave, and these guys come in, and you keep winning games. So if you say to me, Barcola, keeping part of it,
Can you
double
imagine
Champions
we
League
had
guarantee.
every week up and we've sold Gakpo and obviously sold Curtis Jones for like a combined fee of like £100 million. What we could do with that right now, you know what I mean? We could go and get Kamara, we could probably go and get a right back. We could do all sorts with that money.
Retired.
I think because we're going to buy a Barcola and get that in buy regardless. It seems like that's what we're trying to do. But
Can't hear you, Sonny.
if we can somehow
I'll obviously sell Curtis Jones and Gakpo for like £100 million next week. Like
No.
we can do it with that money.
Jesus. Steak dinners for everybody. Jesus. Thank you, Emma. Richard, he
Yeah,
was saying, you think I was fucking around last week at the window? Richard's using it. What do you think it is? 400 million in and out.
What might be
Mega deals all over the place. Yeah, now what are you saying about me now? Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be lovely.
Yeah, I'd say definitely, Barcola and buy next week. And we might just get a midfielder with a bit of luck, with the change left over. Who knows? It talks about Wharton again, I don't know. No, maybe
I'll
not.
wait with that. I'll wait with that, babe. We get this again, like the last weeks of the window, and all of a sudden we swing back and we're trying to get Wharton up again.
Wharton's been great again now.
And Owen is here, so say hello to Owen. Say hello to Owen, everybody.
Hello, good evening. Good evening,
Hello.
everyone.
Hello, Owen.
You're like,
Great to be here. Yeah, I mean, wow! Imagine
Great
a
to have
bonanza. Yeah, we're it's a dream, and I don't know. Let's hope. I did for a shameless plug of my own podcast.
There we go.
I recorded a latest episode yesterday. We've got it down to 7. We only need 7 players now. If Gakpo stays or goes, so that's better than the 11 it was a couple of minutes ago. But I can't see us getting 7 in the next week. I think
No, I can't afford to.
Definitely not.
One a day. Imagine transfer a day for 7 days. Wow.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, exactly.
That'll
200
be
million
Christmas all
every day.
into one for most people.
7 superstars in, can you imagine?
Yeah,
Seven.
I mean that's what I would do, Bernie. That's what I would do.
Well, who would be your first and last signings then?
What do you mean? We're first and last. Sorry.
If you're going to bring in 7 in a week, who would be the first guy you would bring in, and who's the final piece of it? Okay, we got all these, but if we could just have one other, I'd do this.
Well, Mbappe.
But most important guy is
No, but you're asking the wrong person, because I mean, if I was Flash, I would say Mbappe.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, who's
Sorry.
that's got a car in the background? Well,
Yeah, it's Gran Turismo outside. Yeah, it's a big Gran Turismo. Yeah.
Road
Okay.
racing,
I see. Okay.
There we go. We're all right.
Blimey.
All right.
So if I were Flash, it would be Mbappe. But no, I love the number 6. That's my favourite position, and it always has been. So I would announce Mbappe on the first day and build up in my mind to Chema Andres on the last day.
Now you're talking, Owen. Now you're talking.
Someone that would satisfy just a few % of us, including Ray, and I appreciate
Oh,
that.
I love Chem Andres. He's fantastic.
Well, let's not go down the Mbappe route. If we're going to be realistic, obviously it's got to be Barcola, Chema. Look, let him sit at Stuttgart. Everybody needs to stop talking about Chema. Let him sit at Stuttgart. Not talk about him too much, because we saw what happened when everyone started talking about Buwadi. Now he's a £90 million player going to Man City. Let's just let him sit there. Get a deal done over the year. Next year, Chema can come in. But let him sit there and hopefully. But I was thinking, say, a Barcola first deal in. Obviously, we're not doing 7, but I would love to see us do. Oh, we got Barcola, and then we actually went out and got, say, Kone towards the end. Just an attacker, and just give me something to lock up this.
We need
Jamie
yeah.
Yeah.
We had the
I'd
Jamie
second.
Carragher being very detrimental. Sorry, Barney. Carragher saying the midfield issue for me is still a huge problem for Liverpool. This is Jamie Carragher. The problem Liverpool had last season was there was space everywhere in the mid. That has not gone away at all. That's only going to get bigger with the deployment of Szoboszlai in midfield. It looks like they're going to play him. Obviously, they are rather as a 10. Yeah, obviously, Gravenberch, that is just pure box to box. I look at that midfield three and I worry about Liverpool.
Yeah, so do we.
He also had quotes about saying, what is the point of McAllister if he's not going to be your passer in the game? So that to me would have to, I would go, right, look, just do the fucking Barcola thing. We didn't get the Amanda, just get me a top winger in, whatever, like bring in a top winger, but please do something about the midfield. Please.
One body's all we need, Brian. Just one body will do.
Year 5, is it Ray of trying to replace Fabinho?
I know. Yeah.
I'd get Jude Bellingham in and Kvaratskhelia. That'd make me happy.
Just bring in Barcola and Boye, and then either Kone or Kamara.
Here we go. Caviar, Thorny with her caviar and champagne. Bellingham and Kvaratskhelia. Get me the number.
Can you imagine them two in the club? Honest to God,
Kvaratskhelia. I think if we just get Barcola and Boye in the door, Barcola and Boye, and just one midfielder, Kone or Kamara.
I think we're here for Barcola. We're not here for Barcola. We're here for Cav. Yeah, that's it. Wow.
I mean, if you've got to get midfielder, it's got to be Wharton or Stiller for me at the moment.
Stiller's a good.
I get Kone. For me, I get Kone. Just give me something rock hard. Just give me a fucking DM.
Can we be greedy and go and get two like a Tottenham? Can we go and get like a Wharton and Kone and a Wharton, a little partnership?
That means
Wharton, Kone, man. Thanks, Tom. See you later. Wharton, Kone, Wirtz.
Yeah.
Gravenberch is a bench player for me, to be fair. He's not top. I always think, would he get in PSG? No, he wouldn't.
No, Jesus Christ, get anyone near.
That's what I mean. So
no, Barney, it's horrible. People, you're asking exactly the right question. Look, and I'll let you finish, but who does he get into? Other than us.
What in the Premier League?
Yeah.
I mean, if you take Rodri out, it depends. If he's on form, he gets into City's midfield for me.
No.
I agree.
No chance.
Of course he does.
I agree, Nalata. Yeah,
I think he does. Are we forgetting what Gravenberch was played in the 6? I think people have short. You
think he'd get in over this new looks? It like they've obviously they got Bawardi and they've got Ollie Anderson. Where would he get in above them?
I mean, if Gravenberch is on form, he's better than Elliot Anderson. He's better than Elliot Anderson.
Yeah, but Nalanta, you've just said it. If he's on form.
I know, but that's what...
but we need players who are on form every week.
I think Gravenberch will have to change his game a little bit, won't he, to be more defensive as a number and act as a number 6, be an entirely defensive midfielder. He's very much a number 8. He loves to bomb forward and join the attack and create goals. That's Gravenberch all over. Ball carrier, progressive with the ball, shots on goal. 1-2s. But if he's going to be a number 6, we'll say, he's going to change his game. No, he hasn't, Brian. No, exactly. Yeah, he's never been a 6. But I mean, it's either going to be him or Maka to adopt that role. Change the game, be more defensive, be more disciplined. He's going to have to be a hell of a lot more disciplined than he has been before. Gravenberch, he's going to be the defensive line in front of the back 4.
I'm hoping if Marcus stays, he's got over that injury. I know he's lost his legs a little bit, but he is tenacious, isn't he, McAllister? To be fair to him, I'm just hoping, we don't get a season like last season. When maybe he has gone up another gear and past that injury.
I mean, at the moment, Nioni is by far our most defensive midfielder we have, who's fantastic, but he's just inexperienced. If Chamandra is 20 years of age, I think he'd be fantastic. Maybe needs another year in Germany, but Pony would be ideal. Those kind of players. But look, Grav and Maka will have to adapt their game to be more defensive, certainly next season, because Szoboszlai is going to be the presser and the runner. But
yeah, but I still cannot allow Okay, it's up to me. It's not about 11, but it's going on the board. Delante, it's going on the board. Definitely, that goes on the board. Gravenberch on form is better than Elliot Anderson is going on the board as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's fine. No
Gravenberch
problem.
is better than Elliot Anderson.
As all right, we're talking about all round. Well, is Elliot Anderson so good?
No,
He's
you
better
just
than
said
Gravenberch?
you said Gravenberch on form is better than Elliot Anderson.
Yeah, for me, yeah. I mean, it's like we got amnesia. We've like forgetting. We just seen one bad season, and now he's dead wood now. And Elliot Anderson is the
No,
best thing
you
since
no,
last
but
year.
you brought Elliot Anderson into it.
No, but I know, but
You
you
used
asked
him
me.
as the comparison.
Yeah, but
Gravenberch isn't a six. Gravenberch isn't an amazing player. Gravenberch is good as a box-to-box mid, but he's not an amazing player.
but
He's
again,
okay.
yeah, I know.
Why
Yeah,
would
but I
you
didn't
say
say
that
he was
he's
an
better
amazing
than
player.
Elliot Anderson? No, you said
But
he's
he,
better than Elliot Anderson.
yeah, so it doesn't mean he's
Come on.
amazing. I mean, I don't see what the big issue with this is. Fine, if you disagree, that's no problem. That's my opinion.
No, it's not you lot. It's me. My name's Brian. My name's not you lot. My name's Brian. I disagree. I don't know if anybody else is. I'm saying I disagree with your statement that Gravenberch on form, and you're saying on form.
Yeah.
So he has to be on form. So you're suggesting that he isn't, it's if he is on form, is better than Elliot Anderson. I don't know why you would need to make that statement. You can say you think Grav's a good player. I've always said Grav is in the number 6, even when he was playing for us in the number 6. I said this guy's in the number 6.
I think he's being held back. I think he's going to be an elite player. I do. An amazing elite player if he gets the right person next to him. And it's certainly not the weakling sapling that is Dominic Szoboszlai. But imagine Manu Kone next to Gravenberch with Iraola's coaching, where he gets his turning back and his confidence back, and he's getting better. He's getting better in the tackle, and I think he could be an excellent, deep lying playmaker, if you want to use a Football Manager term.
No, he won't be that. He'll never be a deep playmaker.
Well, I mean, not in terms of 60-yard pinging around the passes.
No, but there's more to it than that.
But I mean, in terms of progressive passes, carrying the ball.
Well, that's two totally different things, because he's elite in Europe at ball carrying.
And he's a number 8.
Over the last 2 or 3 years, he's elite at ball carrying. If you give him the ball and let him run forward, he's one of the best in Europe at that. But if you look at passing, you look at interceptions, you look at duels, you look at everything else, he's in like the bottom percentiles. But if you want someone who can carry the ball, he is in the top. So is that what you want? He's never going to be you don't need to try and basically at this level of football, you don't need to try and remold and remake and rebuild a Gravenberch to make him into a playmaking deep line midfielder. You just go and buy one.
It would work. Coney and Graf would work, I think, with Coney being the defensive deep line playmaker, and Graf can progress forward. That would work, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think
we also
if you get a flop in number 6, you go up.
Yeah, but he's going to play Domis Bosley in this midfield, and he's going to play Verts in this midfield.
Yeah.
So there's only one spot left.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's shown Dominic Bosley is going to play for Iraola this year.
Yeah.
So there's only one spot left.
Also, for me,
so is it going to be Grav? It's not going to be Noni. Is it going to be Matt? Who knows? It's a joke. It's a complete and utter joke.
Grav can go forward, but for me, he doesn't defend well.
No.
He's missing that out of the game. Plus the fact that if he's in a team where we're all doing well and everybody's doing their part and we're playing well, he turns up and he's part of that and he's a big part of it. But when the team isn't doing so well, he doesn't play his game. He backs off away with everybody else, and that you don't see him standing out or still doing what he's good at. He just disappears, So I just don't think he's good enough for us for where we want to be, sort of in terms of winning things. I think he's okay, but I don't think he's good enough.
I think for the position, all of that, but I want to come back to this conversation in a year from now and
Yeah,
see
but
how
that's
we
great.
feel about Gravenberch, because I honestly have high hopes. I honestly think he will get better under a coach like Iraola. Just seeing what Iraola did with Ryan Christie and Alex Scott. That's what I'm saying.
But if you look at Gravenberch when he really
You
did have that
can't
like,
teach
really good
someone else. You
season,
can't
he
teach
had
someone
that
mentality.
protector in obviously McAllister, didn't he? When he had that protector McAllister, so I think if we could replicate that and get like someone similar to McAllister to come in, maybe like a Kone, like a more defensive minded, I think you're probably right. Gravenberch probably you would see a better version of him, yeah.
Exactly.
You would, yeah, definitely. But whatever happens, if we bring in no defensive midfielder between Maka and Grav, they're going to have to figure it out. They're going to have to figure it out.
Just give him round pegs.
You know,
Just give him round pegs, please. He's here. He's on a 2-year contract. He's here to do shit. He'll hope to extend and all of that. But this is not. That's not. This guy isn't in 3 years' time. In 2 years' time. In 3 years' time. No, give him round fucking pegs for round fucking holes.
Yeah.
Seriously, let's not. He give him Gravenberch for 2.5 years. No, look, he's not. My question is number one question. Does he roll a by Gravenberch? No, he doesn't.
Correct.
He doesn't.
He might.
I'm not saying he can't work with him, but if you're asking him, okay. But look, if we're just using our eyes here, he's not what we need. He can be what we need, but you can improve on. Right now, this is a guy that's still a project. He has no defensive awareness. He does not track runners. He will watch people run past him, and if you can't beat that out of him after a year and a half, you're any player. Just stand there and watch people run past you and jog back. If after 2 years you're still thinking, this isn't my fault, this isn't my problem, if you don't have those defensive instincts, if you can't do that, you might play for Liverpool, but I don't think you're a starter for Liverpool.
Does
He
anybody
has a
know?
lot of qualities. He has a lot of qualities.
He does, yeah.
A lot of them. But he also has massive issues in his game. How many times have we literally seen this guy watch a guy run past him, watch him continue to run past him, and then 5 seconds later decide to maybe he might jog back and track this guy? You can't do it.
Last season. Well,
You
again,
cannot
like I
do
said, he has to. He knows he has to. I mean, he had a shocking season last season. He's the boat of everyone, bar one or two. He has to fix up. He has to fix up this season. Otherwise, there could be a different conversation. And then the season, but there's a player. There's a player there. It's just his mentality. That's the thing. He's an intelligent. I think he's an intelligent footballer, but he just goes. I don't know mentally. That's the thing for me. It's a mental thing because he's brought up in the Dutch system.
That's the thing you can't train.
Yeah,
that's the thing you can't coach out of somebody.
Well,
is
again, that's it,
mental
right?
relaxation.
Yeah,
so if he's not into that, if his natural inclination isn't to go, I'm going to run. Just look, dude. Thanks for your service. You know.
Yeah,
he's a box-to-box player. He looks really good when he gets forward sometimes.
He's very progressive, yeah.
You don't need that.
Yeah.
We've got Verts, we've got Sabas. We need someone who can sit in there.
To sit like he did.
6'8" hybrids, 2 of them, 6'8". We're not going with an out-and-out number 6, but we need someone that is, okay, cool, I feel comfortable here with this guy. Again, this isn't even Arne Slot's midfield, let alone Irola's midfield.
Yeah.
It's fucking Jurgen Klopp's midfield from 3 years ago. Dom, Mac, Grav, Endo, they're all still here. That's the midfield. It's not even the previous coach's midfield. Don't tell me this guy is thinking, I'd have him. No way Euro goes out in the transfer market, brings in Mac, Dom, Grav. No chance. So let's not pretend this is a great midfield for this guy. He's obviously going to have his own ideas.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's be real about it. Can he get a tune out of these players? Of course he can. Because they're good players and he's a good manager.
All he needs to do
is give the man what he wants. Like we've given him one fucking player. Don't give me Jacques because Slot was still here when we bought Jacques. We've given him Munoz.
And that's it. Yeah.
Give him some bloody tools. Give him some options. Jesus Christ, like. Everything in Diamande, everything in Barcola now to the last minute. What about right back? What about centre back? What about CDM? Oh, what are we doing? Like, we're not always bang, Barcola in the door. Oh, no, 8 transfers. 2 days. Look, we play Newcastle United in 8 days.
Flipping it. 8 days, you know. Flipping it.
8
We'll beat
days.
them, Brian. We'll
Back
beat
in the
Newcastle.
Premier
We'll beat Newcastle, rest assured.
I'm not
Against-
saying we don't beat them. This is what I'm saying. If you want to join
We'll beat-
Liverpool tomorrow, there's a game in 7 days, and we're talking about needing 4, 5, 6 players.
There'll be a further week in the transfer window to try and hopefully bring in a CDM.
Yeah.
No
But it's gonna-
preseason, no body, no shape work, no tactical work. No, welcome to the Premier League. There's a game tomorrow. Ridiculous.
Plus, as well, we're looking at players who the season before last had a good game and we won the league. But you can't look back that far when last season it was hopeless, you know. And I just think, well, you know, either you stand up and be counted and you do your job, even if everything's falling around you. If you can still show that you're a good player and you hold the ball and you do what you're supposed to do with it, then you earn your place. But if you go missing and you're not consistent, it's no good for us. Our fans, I think, a lot of the fans want to be winners in everything, but then they'll settle for like sentimentality with some of the players, and and don't get me wrong, because I love our players, but they have to be doing the job and the money they're paid as well. They've got to keep like Verge. He deserves his wage. He never stops when he's there. But some of the others who drop off, they can drop off somewhere else. For me, I want people who just going to come in and give, everything and all the passion they've got.
I'm sure in January there'll be incomings and outgoings, especially that midfield. Until then, we'll have to get a tune out of them. Whether we bring in Barcola and Mbaye and try and he'll get a tune out of them until January. He'll get an opportunity to make a couple of signings and sell a few players. Gradually, he'll transform that midfield gradually himself.
As long as he's here in 2 years' time, and if it all goes to shit, who knows? Arne Slot won a league in 12 months later, he was gone. So, I don't even know what to think in these days. Coco, that's not normal. Do you think John is asking, do you think Wirtz working with Klopp will improve his LFC form, in your opinion? No, obviously not. For me, no. Obviously not. Sorry, that sounds good. But he'd obviously work a lot more in 3-4 weeks a season. You get with these, he'll enjoy, the whole German thing. But I think playing as a almost false 9, the second striker in this Irola team will get a lot more out of him. I think that will definitely improve his form.
Yeah.
More. I mean, it'll be great for him, no doubt. He always played well for Germany, though. But I think Irola is a manager. Like, you just have to think the Krupi, junior Krupi role last season for Bournemouth, playing off a striker. That's what Wirtz is going to be much more like this year, as opposed to a number 10. It's more like, it's not a 4-2-3-1 kind of thing with a 10 or anything like that. It's basically Wirtz and Isak as 2 forwards up front. So he's going to enjoy that a lot less of Florian Wirtz having to drop deep in to try and collect the ball. The ball's being passed around. Florian Wirtz going looking for that ball, waiting for that ball.
Yeah.
I think you can see a version of Florian Wirtz is much closer to Isak, running in behind.
Yeah. And because
balls quicker, a lot more quicker. You see him score goals. Not Krupi levels of goals. He's a more creative Krupi. Krupi is a less creative Wirtz, but they will play the same role, I believe, in this team. So they will be tethered together, basically, all the time. Wirtz within 10 yards of Isak.
Batman and Robin.
And the fact that
we were relying on them to score goals, because other than them two, we're very short on people who can actually score goals.
Yeah. And the fact
really short.
The fact that Irola plays such a high line as well, Brian, it'll bode well for Wirtz and Isak. They'll be closer together, and we'll have, forward line packed.
More combinations.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely right. Good point.
But I think there's something about Wirtz working with Klopp that could benefit us greatly in terms of just confidence. And I was thinking about earlier, I was thinking about
Exactly, Owen. Yeah.
the great
Well,
Bobby Robson, right?
Mm.
Sir Bobby, and just
Yeah.
how brilliant he was at giving players confidence. Like
Exactly.
when Bobby Robson worked with a young Kieran Dyer played some of the best football for a young
Mhm.
player in England.
Yeah,
He was
Ipswich.
absolutely electric.
Yeah, prodigy.
Just because Bobby Robson gave him the confidence, he would say to him like, "Okay, you're going to absolutely dominate this game. You're an amazing player." And because it was Bobby Robson telling him that, he believed it and then played like it.
Exactly.
But no one
Yeah,
else.
you also need to have the ability to. You also need to have the ability.
But
Because-
what I'm
yeah.
saying with Kieran Dyer,
I mean,
is that
Bobby
he didn't-
Robson.
he
Yeah, but
didn't
if Bobby
necessarily
Robson
have the
told
ability.
me I was the best player in the world, it wouldn't make me the best player in the world. You also have to still have the ability to do it.
I think if
At
Jurgen
least you
Klopp
believe it.
said to you, as and maybe not, maybe not to like any of us on the panel, but like to any professional footballer, that he believed in you and that he was gonna, he thought he had high hopes for you as like, you have the
Yeah.
ability and the talent. I reckon it could just impact his self-confidence because he lacked a bit of self-confidence via
He did,
last
yeah.
season. It was quite,
Mm.
I don't know, from the outside it seemed that way. It seemed very clear.
Okay,
me.
you think so? No, I didn't think confident. I just thought we just getting used to the Premiership. I thought we had moments. I just thought, and again, it's just the whole team was out of form with Wirtz for
In-
me, and he didn't perform his best. I don't know, confident. I thought he's still confident on the pitch per se,
In the-
but
In the Bundesliga, I think Wirtz was unbelievable. Taking on players every chance he got, going past players, very assertive in the box. But last season, I think it was partly a confidence thing whereby he was afraid to take on. He rarely took on players last season. In his first season, he was a bit tentative. He was getting used to the physicality of the league as well, I suppose. And the intensity of the Premier League. I think this coming season we'll see a whole new Florian Wirtz. I expect him to take on players, be more confident. Be assertive, taking on players, being more active in around the box. Because last season, unfortunately, because our midfield was so poor, he was coming back into midfield, dropping back to get the ball to affect the game, and he was wasted in that area, So hopefully we'll see a better version of him this season.
Yeah, Sonny, what's that? Words on the clock. I mean, it'll be nice. I'm not saying it'll be detrimental, but
No, I think he's going to go up another level. Like even like when you look at the stats from last season, like even it was a bad season for him, but he still still got double digits and assists and like still got like 8 goals for us. You know what I mean? And that's a bad season. So as like what you're saying as well, it's like now he's going to have a system around him as well. Like I think a lot of it depends on if we do get a 6 in though. I think maybe the system will help him a little bit more, but obviously, because he's going to be playing that like Krupi role as like a false 9 a lot of the times in the games, like he's going to get more goals. And like we've seen it in pre-season as well. He's already scored 2 goals in pre-season. He's been involved in pretty much a lot of our play as well. So I think Iraola is going to love him, to be fair, and utilise him, because we haven't got Ekitike either. Obviously, when Ekitike comes back, that's when it gets interesting for me to see what happens of Wirtz then when Ekitike is back as well.
it's a problem. Let's not pretend it's a problem. Ekitike going to be a rotation guy. I'm telling you, man, he's got to be a rotation guy.
He will be.
has to be. There's only 11 places on the pitch. There's only 11.
He'll be six back up, 100%. He's six back up.
Wirtz back up, off the left, random games kind of thing. He can play the 9.
He looks all right on the left when he's out there as well.
Yeah, I mean, we need quality. That
definitely. I'm all for it. I'm all for
exactly,
it.
yeah.
I'm all for it.
Ekitike will be, a top quality squabbler to have. That's what we need. Quality bench, a top world class bench.
Brav on a bench, Ekitike on a bench, Dom on a bench. We need to stop being afraid of this.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what big clubs look like. They have big players on the bench.
Absolutely, yeah.
it's not a bad dilemma to have, is it? You know, when you think about
As
it.
long as they're happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if we're going for all competitions, they'll all get plenty of time, and they'll get rest as well, won't they?
But I think
But
Akatika
after
will
a year when
in
they
the
realise,
situation now. You know, he's injured, and obviously he's at the top dog now. So when he comes back off his injury, it's up to him to fight his way back into that position, isn't it? Really?
It
I
is,
think
then,
he
yeah.
will as well. I think he's got that in him. Do you, Akatika? I think he could.
Yeah, I've got high hopes for Akatika. Like in the short glimpse that we seen of him last season, like he was unbelievable for us. He really was. He was very good. He started very well, didn't he? And obviously he got injured and
Yeah.
stuff. But I think he's got. I think he can go to like world class levels, mate. In the next couple of years seasons, and then we'll have a real problem on our hands when it's like who just start them when Akatike's firing on all cylinders, and you've got Isaac as well.
It'd be nice to get
definitely.
both on the pitch, wouldn't it, as well? Can you imagine if they were both on fire?
Yeah, because I think they could do that. I think Isaac could play the 9, and like what Brian was saying, with obviously Wirtz doing the Krupa role behind, I think Akatike could do that role just as much as Wirtz could as well.
Yeah, I do.
So certain games you rest them, rotate, mix it up. All gonna have a
Yeah.
part to play. Yeah, that's what I said. 23-man squad is there to be used.
Big time.
And
Yeah.
I'll tell
he
you
just
what.
needs to be happy with that. Look, he needs to know you're at a big club. You're not starting every week. Don't be losing your shit, showing your name to the crowd, getting a fucking second yellow card because you're insecure about people not knowing who you are. Come on. Let's grow up here. It's going to happen. You're not going to play every single game for us.
I think he's quietly confident, though, Akatika. He knows how good he is.
We all know how good he is, but you got to be happy. You got to be able to sit on the bench every now and again.
Yeah.
I think he'll be happy with what's going on now. With obviously Barcola and Bai coming, like two of his compatriots, like two French players. Like he's going to be happy. With his friends coming through the door as well.
Oh, yeah, good, isn't it? Yeah, true. So yeah, again, it's all about good work. But yeah,
he went to Germany. It's a man who's used to cultural shocks. He went to Germany from France.
Yeah.
They don't all need their best mates around them. I know it helps and all that, but I don't want somebody to come in like this frimpong, kind of what are we doing? Like a Cabbage Patch doll for fucking Florian Wirtz. What are we doing over here,
That's what it looks like when you look at that transfer now, isn't it? It's like it feels like we've just bought him just as smooth the deal a little bit with Wirtz.
Yeah.
It's not one of them, so I mean could all the right back in the world, but
but also as well, there's talk that Akatika and Barcola are great mates, so you wouldn't mind.
Well, they're at PSG together. Yeah, they play together at PSG, so
So you wouldn't mind one of them being
just before
Cabbage Patch doll for the other one, would you, if they came in?
I see. I think with Hugo, I think last season he showed his potential. When he was good, he was good. When he was bad, he was bad. He's good. He was inconsistent, but he was good at how bad. He was one of the shining lights. But he will improve. He will improve. He'll get more, once he gets more consistent. Then
he will.
He scored 14 goals for him. Injured, when he at one stage he was like in the top goal scorers and that. It's like I think he was like third in the list, and obviously got injured and that. But would have been interesting to see if he would have finished that season what he would have got.
And I think
I'd give him 18. But that, lads, let's not forget, that's what 80 million quid cost you. Because that whole fee for Ekitike gets completely lost. Like any other season, that 80 million quid for Ekitike is our record transfer.
Yeah.
We paid a huge amount of money for him. They want some £40 million pickup. He cost more than Sesko did. He cost more than Woltemade did. And he was our second choice striker thing. So this is a guy. There's a huge investment here. He's not, like I said, we didn't pick him up half cheap. Like today's half cheap. What's that? 40 million. We paid a big fee for this guy.
But the good thing about him was he wasn't going down before he got injured. He was going up, wasn't he? He was getting better and better before he got injured. So that's a good thing for me. If he comes back from this injury and he carries on the trajectory he was on, I think we're going to have a fantastic player.
He's a good player. He's definitely a good player. He just needs to know that he's loved. Everyone knows who he is. He doesn't need to be worrying and paranoid about, don't forget about me. No, come in and do your stuff. But yeah, he might be on the bench a few times. It's a big club, a lot of games. If he can handle that.
Yeah,
You,
I do
you
think
don't come into a club. Sorry, no, but really, you don't come into a club as a striker. No one in that club has just broken the British transfer record to sign Isaac and get a bit of a hump on because you're not starting striker. You're not going to be starting behind him, surely,
of course,
right?
Yeah,
So he's got
obviously.
to have that in his head.
but I do think that Ekitike and Verts could be a brilliant combination together for some reason. What I've seen of Ekitike, him and Verts could be fantastic together. I think as a front two.
Oh, we would have seen that in patches last season. They had some good games last season together.
They did, yeah. They did, yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah. They fed well off each other, and it looked exciting, for a time.
Yeah.
But no, we beat Isak equally. But
Yeah, because I do think there'd be certain games that we could just overload our our attack in certain games of Isak up top, Barcola as a right wing, Gakpo on the left wing, where it's behind. You know what I mean? In certain games as well.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely, Sonny. Yeah.
Yeah, and they tell the two players behind whoever that is, grab Max Sobo. They look, just sit and let the four of them do what they need to do. When you receive the ball, just give them to the front four and let them do what they need to do.
Yeah, because that's a frightening front four, isn't it? Obviously, when TK's back and they're all firing on all cylinders, and they've obviously played together a couple of times, that's a frightening front four that we can put out there.
Yeah, it's very true. I'm just curious to see how this. I mean, obviously the midfield, everyone. I mean, Soboslai was the best at a bad bunch, but he wasn't good at times. I just want to see how this midfield operates now that McAllister's staying. And well, I know there's still time. I mean, if Jones, but if we don't, my gut feeling is that we're not buying a midfielder. That's the way it feels like, and if that's the case, I'm just curious to see how he operates under this system with Ariola. So. We'll see, because that for me, that will be the key for me to see where our season heads to. If they wake up and smell the coffee, remember who they are as players, then we can have a good season. But if they take the form we were just awful last season, then we're having a long season. We're having another long season, a frustrating season.
Has it come out that McAllister staying then?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything about him going. We've heard rumours that he wanted to go, but there's been no concrete bids, no rumours about him wanting to leave or put a transfer request in or anything like that. There's only really Jones and Gakpo that's concrete that's leaving right now. Not even Elliott or any of the others. Endo, Cheeser.
Right. That's it. Yeah, like Sonny said, Lady B. Yeah, he's content with staying. He doesn't. He's not. He wants to stay, and the club, from what I'm reading, they're saying that they're not actively looking to sell him. So,
I mean, it's good to hear in the World Cup. He ran the most, and some of his stats were good in the World Cup. But let's hope he can bring it back to us, because the last season he was hopeless, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, you're right, Lady B.
Yeah, because if he could bring even a tiny bit of what he was the season before, you know what I mean? That would help us massively next season. I don't think he will, but imagine it was just a blip for him, it was just a bad season, and all of a sudden, Maka rolls up and he's just the same Maka as the season before.
The coach has had a few words about him. Earol is talking about Maka, saying, with Alexis McAllister having returned to the AXA, we now have all of our players back, which there's no doubt in my mind about the quality and potential we have in our squad. From a personnel perspective, I would like to thank all of you for blah, 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 blah. So, it's just, he's not really speaking about anything like this guy's going to come or go or anything like that. But, his dad has come out and said, his dad is saying, we were saying his dad's confirmed, his dad is also his agent. So his dad isn't just his dad is also his agent. So, but he does say stuff like that. He comes out and speaks pretty quickly, but you never say never in football. And a bid comes in, and everything changes overnight, very, very quickly. But we will be Yeah, line up tomorrow against Como twice, 11:30 tomorrow morning.
Be interesting to see what he does with the two teams. You know what I mean? Who's in the first, who's in the second? Like how he does it. Whether he does like like a second team in the first, maybe the first team in the second, or maybe he just like splits the first team down
Yeah.
down with both teams.
I think the first game is behind closed doors, so I'd imagine the second string team will play first, and he might want to. Well, maybe not. He might want to showcase his best 11 for the second game, but maybe not. He might want to keep the best team under wraps.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they work. Them to get to I went to the Bilbao one last season when there was two games.
Yeah,
People previously but last season they kind of mixed it. They had like some of the starting 11 in the first game, some of the starting 11 in the second game. So
yeah.
if it's going to do anything, it might probably be like that, I reckon.
You're a bit muffled there, Sonny. You're a bit muffled again. Yeah, I think you're good now. Yeah, you're grand. Yeah, yeah, sure. We'll only get to see one game so live as it happens, I suppose.
I was gonna go as well. I had the ticket, but I had to give me ticket up to my cousin because I fly to Barcelona. I've got to go to work tomorrow, and then I fly to Barcelona at like 2:00 in the morning, like Monday morning. Sunday going into Monday. So
Right, yeah. But I just on the midfield again, lads. I think on McAllister, like of all our midfielders at the moment, except for Neoni, McAllister has the potential to be the most defensive of Gravenberch and Zawazle and himself. So if Maka can regain his form, he's tenacious in the tackle. He's good at cutting out through balls. He's tenacious. He fights for the ball. He's good on one. So at his best, I think he can fulfill that role as a number 6. So maybe not a number 6, but more defensive being the more defensive minded player, screening the back four. If no one isn't playing, hopefully he'll have to find that form. They'll have to work it out between them and very quickly,
No. Yes, no, it's very true. I mean,
I'm just hoping and praying in the next couple of days, boys. We just wake up and then we got this double deal with PSG. We got our two wingers in, and then hopefully maybe then Gakpo goes out the door. We don't need to replace Gakpo because we've already bought Barcola, and then that money off Gakpo, and then potentially the money off Elliott or Jones if they go out as well. Potentially, we get a Kamara in, a Wharton, maybe a right back. Like that's what I'm more excited about, more than the wingers. Weirdly.
Yeah. I have a feeling, Sonny, myself, will just bring in 3 players maximum in this window. That midfielder and the 2 wingers. And then Irola will work out what he has there until January. And then maybe bring in a right back and maybe, another midfielder or sell a few players or whatever,
Yeah, because Bradley's out for I think it's another quarter, like at least another 2-3 months, isn't it? So we've only really got long in that position. Even he's injured at the moment. So obviously Araujo can play there. Maybe that's how we start. And I reckon that's how we are going to play against Newcastle. Araujo will play right back, Jack and VVD. Kerkez will be left back, but he'll be bombing up front.
Well, Araujo, VVD. Centre back, which I like the sound of that, and
because that sounds strong, doesn't it? Like you've got Jack VVD, you've got Araujo. It's like as a back three, that's pretty strong to get past. And then obviously Kerkez will muck him when he needs to, but he'll be the one that's gonna be going forward more than any of the other ones anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Or the forgotten man, or probably won't be used, Ramsey. Or or you guys reckon he'll be surplus to requirements?
It'd be interesting to see if Iraola does the Szoboszlai right back thing as well, because obviously he'll know that he can play there. So obviously we have still got that. We can put Szoboszlai there, but obviously we take him out of midfield, which means you weaken the midfield, I think, as well when you take him out the midfield.
Yeah, last season that made my skin cringe. Szoboszlai right back and flipping that made my skin cringe. I hated that with passion. But yeah, I mean, there's 2 options there. maybe a third. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he does. I mean, I know Jack A trained, so I don't know. I got a feeling he won't start against Newcastle, but we'll see. I could be wrong. I could
Yeah,
be
he's
wrong.
been in training, Jack. He's looked all right, to be fair. I know it's only training footage, you can't really do too much to look impressive, but he looks like the right athlete, you know what I mean? Like jumping around, running right, like looks like a fast lad, powerful.
Yeah.
He looks like a decent signing, to be fair to him. I think him and Arojo and VVD and Kirkes is probably the safe bet against Newcastle, definitely.
I think that's a very, very decent back four, lads, if you ask me. If they're all playing as well as if they play as well as they can play, and as well as we've been told that how good they are, and that's a very, very good back four.
And let me ask you guys this then, because I know the Arejo, obviously I know the report saying that it's just for the season, but if he has a good season, would you again a good season? He plays well, whatever we finish whether he has a really good season. Would you both sign him? Would all of you sign him up?
Not for the price Barca want for him, I think.
Okay.
I think they want 50 plus million for him. He'll be 28 then, and I'm not. Yeah, not for that price. I think for me personally, anyway. But look, if he performs well, many people would want to keep him. But that's just my own opinion.
Oh, fair enough. No, fair enough. No, I get it. Big up, Sonny. I think he's gone. He's going. Big up, Sonny. Big up, Lady B. I think is it Clive? Is it Owen? I think. Yeah. Big up,
Owen.
big
Yeah,
up.
the lads went. Yeah,
Owen.
no worries.
That's it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Owen's gone. Yeah, sorry, my
No
internet
worries.
is fucking up again here. What's this? This was supposed to be something else. What's going on there? Yeah, I mean, this just seems like the most obvious thing of all time. Cody goes out, Barcola comes in. I mean, when we look back in a couple of years, we were like, "Oh, do you remember we were all like fretting and blah blah blah." So he's going to go. He's going to come in. Yeah, that's just, it's one of the most obvious swaps of all time. Yeah, it can go to shit. Yes, it can fall apart. But 100%, this is what they're trying to do. And like I said, God bless Roberto De Zerbi. Because,
What a man.
if it wasn't for him, I don't see anybody else coming in here and trying to give us a big fat lump of money for Cody Gakpo.
Yeah,
No, really don't.
True.
So Bayern seems to have gone a little bit cold on him maybe next year. But then, next year he's going to be 28.
Yeah, apparently.
So you like I say, you sell these guys while they're still in, and you do other things, and it's not like he's born and bred in Liverpool. We bought him, we spent money for the club. You bring in another guy. Everyone love him just as much. Don't worry about it.
I mean, Gakpo right now he's at his most valuable, isn't he, Brian? And he's 27, good age, at his peak possibly, and at his most valuable. So now's the time to strike, sell him, get the money in. Happy days, and God bless De Zerbi.
Yeah.
You do obviously like De Zerbi, yeah. We do you be on your Christmas
No,
card.
I just think give this. If anybody, I would.
We do now anyway,
anybody
lad.
wants-
We do now.
If anybody wants to give us 60 million for Cody Gakpo, very much.
Fair enough.
The Derby thing is clearly a bad manager that wants to buy.
Yeah.
Cody Gakpo for 60 million. It doesn't matter who he is.
True. I would say this though. I was surprised.
We're not sitting here saying God bless Roberto De Zerbi because he's a brilliant manager. It's a joke. It's a joke saying thank you, De Zerbi, for giving us his money for the. It's no one's sitting here saying, "Oh, Brian said De Zerbi was a great manager."
No. Thank you for the present.
Joke. It's a joke.
It's a joke. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I would say this. I'm not gonna lie. At the start, I didn't think Cody would go. And again, like you said, with the God bless De Zerbi, because I'm surprised that of all teams, Spurs.
Yeah.
I am surprised about that. He would accept personal terms, but again,
Tonali went to Spurs.
Yeah, true.
I mean, one of the most in-demand probably midfielders in European football.
Yeah. I suppose. I suppose the list of left wingers Spurs could have bought is very, very, very short. So I suppose Gakpo was the only one that they could have chosen to play left side of that forward line, you know. So, yeah, he was a viable option for them, you know. But look, Gakpo, look, I've been long saying we should sell him. He's not a bad player. He's a good footballer, but just for Iriola, as a left winger, it's a non-runner. He's been found out, you know. He's been time and time again. He's been found out. I mean, all defenders need to do is push Cody onto his left side, and he'll do nothing, you know. Put him on his right side, and he's a bit of a danger. But he's just, you know, he's very one-dimensional for me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had his moments. For some reason, he works at Holland, but it's just like I said, it is what it is, Cody. Yeah, we just like I said, I think we need the in and out. We need to go in, out, across. You know that
That's it.
kind of flex. You know, so
Yeah.
like
And someone
I
who-
get
Yeah.
play. I'm
And so-
just like I said, right. I was just saying, sorry, right? No, actually, you're gonna say something.
No, go ahead, Joanne.
Okay,
Go ahead.
no. I was just gonna say at the start for me, my fit with Cody, my thing was thinking Cody's like obviously staying next season, and then obviously the De Serbi and him agreeing. Well, obviously, like you said, the Serbi's got a way of words. So I mean, him agreeing to go to Spurs, so I'm a bit surprised about that. But then again, I'm thinking maybe he's been told by Liverpool, and again, the deal is not obviously as you've reported every day. Is that maybe like Barcola's going to be that first choice? You're going to be the bench player.
Exactly, yeah. And Cody's
International football. It's international football. He looks good for Holland because he's playing against Estonia and Finland
And Sweden.
And Italy. I mean, he looks good for Holland. Of course he does. Jeez, man. This kid, man, he's still living at the top level. This is not a guy that brings you from where you were last year to where you need to be. Cody doesn't do that.
Yeah.
He doesn't improve.
He's a squad player. He's a squad player in this team.
For us, anyway, squad player,
it's going to give you £60 million for a squad player. You take it.
Yeah. Yes.
He's not Rio. He's not like he's 27. He is what he is. We bought him. You sell him. Sorry, football is ruthless. Next, you're bringing a guy.
We just need a winger on that left side who's electric pace, who's on a stop, someone who doesn't get the ball and stops and looks and then goes forward. You know, someone who gets the ball and will keep the head down and keep going forward at pace. You know, go past players, creating for Isak basically. You know, and getting into that box and getting involved in goal contributions. That's why Ariola loves pacey players with power and pace. You know, so hopefully Barcola will do the business for us. You know.
So he'll be there. Listen, guys, we'll leave it there. We'll definitely leave it there. Look, we've all had our say. We know what the crack is. Hopefully tomorrow we get some different news. But other than that, we have 11:30 tomorrow morning is the first game. So it is behind closed doors, so to speak, but it's on TV. It's watchable if you have the LFC game. So that'll be that, and then I can't remember what time the second game is. UK time, maybe half 5
or half 6.
Half 6, is it? Half 6, okay.
I think so, Brian. Yeah.
Okay, well that's tomorrow, and then that's it. Next cab off the rank in terms of games, 6 p.m. is Newcastle away. So that's it. Tomorrow is the last chance to see different things or whatever it might be, and then we're straight back in. We're right into Premier League football in a week's time. So it becomes pretty real tomorrow. I'd imagine probably the second, like the team you see at Anfield, will be a lot closer to what he's looking at doing. Maybe the first game a bit of a warm up type thing, but I don't know if we'll do something along those lines. But yeah, that's it. Tomorrow's the last day, and after that, straight back into the Premier League. So, good luck in getting the 6 players we need between now and next Sunday. Coney and Barcola and all these guys are all going to come in next week. Okay, one of the greatest weeks of all time, hopefully. And then by who else you want to bring in? nobody, I suppose. But look, I don't know if we're going to do anything tomorrow with these games, but maybe that 6 p.m. one we might do a watch along for. So keep an eye out for that. And if you haven't liked, subscribe, but you have. All we have. If you want to support the channel, scan the code, QR code, buy me a coffee, links in the description, all those things. And Nolante, thank you. Ray, thank you. Sonny, thank you. Barney,
Take care.
everyone's been in. Owen, and we'll see you all again tomorrow.
Nice one.